one bristle, one lifestealer. There's so many different problems that, sure, you might survive for 20, 25 minutes, but you need to make something else happen. You can't just farm.
Yeah, the hero definitely lags when you get overpowered, and the nullifiers did come out as we touched on. So then later you do lose a lot of value. One thing I could see going to the next game, maybe, I mean, Hoodwink was picked very early on, so maybe Falcons themselves are like, okay, we're gonna raise the priority as well. Is one team gonna ban it because it is the most picked hero of both teams?
Yeah, what adaptations are we going to see for this second game? I think one of the major changes will be the pick order, and that does just mean that there is less ban potential for BB Team that we discussed was going to be a little bit more important compared to maybe Falcons bans, because there are just a lot of heroes that you do not want Falcons to get their hands on. So that will definitely change things up, Effie.
It will for sure, and I'm still so curious about the Sand King. Do they feel like their approach was good enough? Because the lack of the scaling on Falcons did not come from that Sand King pick. It came from the supports and to them getting lifestealered when they had a Nature's Prophet carry. Do you want to give away Sand King again? He kind of destroyed that early game.
Oh, sorry. Why did Miro yawn? It's quite good.
He got you good.
He got me good, yeah, sorry.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good now, don't worry.
Wait, to go to the... I would not give up the Sand King. Like, if I'm BB Team, I'm like, let's take... Like, this guy, Purge showed it to us, and he is not wrong when he says he's seen this 5 times. Because I've seen it 5 times. They stack every time. It then not just gives golden XP to him, it allows his 4 to get XP from the stacks. It allows Crit to go to the mid lane and soak more golden XP. And it really snowballs very, very quickly. Had BB Team not played incredibly well to like find this comeback in this mid game, they would absolutely, the only thing they will talk about right now is take out Marine Sand King. So try not to get baited just because something specific happened. Try to keep a clear head on what actually matters.
Yeah.
I did really enjoy watching GPK on that DK though. This hero's fallen off. We've seen him as a carry from time to time, but we don't see that mid DK come out often. And clearly with that first pick Hoodwink, they were building towards this DK idea. They were building towards this duo that would play and make space for Pure in this game. They knew that they were going to run around with this DK's Blink and try to get what they could.
Yeah, after game 1, it feels like there's like a pick your poison situation. You either got to ban, respect the DK, the puck, or the Earth Shaker. They're like the big 3, I think GPK's shown so far at the International. And for Falcons, they're going to have to decide which one are we probably going to play against. And if it's available, they are going to take it.
And we already mentioned it after game number 1. We did see Skeeter 0 deaths in that first game on his Nature's Prophet. Do we want him to get a little bit higher priority in this game number 2 draft, as maybe also with a different style of hero, as this Nature's Prophet did not end up working out despite it having such a good game?
I wouldn't necessarily change anything with how they prioritized Skeeter. Honestly, that game really must have surprised them. It caught them off guard extremely quickly, but Skeeter did play a great game. Like, he was everywhere, he was present, he built items to scale, he died 0 times like we've talked about. It's just the nature of the draft and them getting caught off guard by this lifestealer is what put them in this position.
I think there's one key stat there that is showing the big problems for Falcons game 1. 256 building damage.
I was going to say, that is quite the difference.
Yeah. And of course, it just boils down to what we've been saying, right? It's the progressing the game, getting the kills, feeling that the map state is yours, but not progressing the the fundamentals of the game. Something that obviously Aoi likes to say time and time again.
When you have a lead as big as the one Falcons had, that first Aegis becomes very important because you have to find a way to keep that lead and not give away the gold you have and make your enemies have that entry into that game.
Well, we can theory craft a lot about what might or might not happen in game number 2, but it is time to find out.
Team Falcons versus BB Team. Game 2.
Here we go. We got BB Team on Radiant this time around and Falcons on the Dire side. First pick goes the way of BB Team. Second pick and overall last pick to Team Falcons, and that means it's a complete swap over from a previous game. For BB Team, though, they still want to pick up that Hoodwink first, regardless of which pick order they are. In regards to the bans, I do want to point out that this time around Falcons did not ban out the puck, so now we have our options open in regards to that as well. That Sand King, though, still in.
I think not banning the puck is the fact that Falcons are second pick. If BB were to first pick it, there's plenty of heroes that Falcons like to play. The DKs, the Shakers, etc. I don't know if Falcons are that scared of it, from at least from BB being first pick.
I'm a bit surprised that they've lost their confidence in their Sand King, that they've been happily first picking. Maybe they think that the approach that BB team had was enough for how the game state goes. Even if Falcons had that great early game, the DK plus Hoodwink duo does enough to offset what Sand King does on a map.
They haven't respected it in the sense that their first 4 bans haven't addressed the Bristle, the DK, or the Lifestealer. So if they were to pick Sand King here, and with 1 single ban, 2 are still going to flood into the second phase, and then BB can construct the same type of draft and have the same kind of recipe to winning a game 2.
Yeah, I wonder if they're still thinking about it or if they're swayed away from it. They don't. Falcons players generally don't strike me as the ones that lose confidence in themselves or their heroes, generally speaking.
Yeah.
So it might be strategical or to just save it for later. Ench overall is considered a very good hero against Hoodwink in the lane. You can out-trade the hero. You have your, you have your heal to actually offset some acorn trading on the side. So overall, it also looked good. Snake King plays it well. So I'm not too surprised about the start of the draft so far.
Yeah, Hoodwink being also the most played position for hero of the International and the road to the International. So having a great track record there, and of course, very comfortable for a lot of players.
She's made quite the comeback.
Yeah.
You didn't see any play after her facet got nerfed, the tree shot, trick shot, or whatever it was called. Not even nerfed, deleted.
Yeah.
Players couldn't find a way to make it work, but I think she's come back into meta because of her ability to play from a distance. She's a support that's very hard to catch, can disengage very easily, and provides a lot of burst damage. And all of the supports that are popular right now seem to be able to keep a large distance away from threats in teamfights.
It also seems nice when your fours have like the follow-up damage, and I would say it's Falcons that kind of brought back the rushing shard on Hoodwink with like this follow-up damage, spell amp, get it into your core. But there's something interesting that happened here. BB team were the ones that banned DK going into this phase, so now Falcons, they didn't have to. They take out their TA, they get their Sand King again, so we have a very similar setup.
Yeah. And interesting, with the TA ban, they still are enabling potential lifesteers and all the things that we just saw previously. But they want the Sand King, they want that pace of play.
And the Bristleback Disruptor coming out as well, so we most likely have our offlane set. Depending on where the Bristle goes, I'm going to assume it's Miero's hero. That's the only player that has picked it up so far, but we know Pure can do that as well, and Disruptor cannot go wrong with that either way.
Hoodwink and Disruptor both thrive when you have any hero that likes to aggressively position, and Bristleback is probably one of the top offlaners at happily running into fights, not caring. Even if he does get 100 to 0, you're probably using multiple heroes, multiple spells, and yeah, very solid draft so far.
I think they've doubled back for the Sand King because BB team ended up banning the DK themselves. And maybe what they didn't want to play against was a potential Hoodwink plus DK again versus what Sand King does. But this DK ban indicates that maybe that GPK puck is coming out anyway.
That's true, especially with these supports that you're seeing come out here. I like the SD. Again, having like a save is very good. You get the break later, you help your Sand King who goes in. And most importantly, the post 4 that Falcons pick, crit, he always has an ability to stack the Ancients easily. You tag one, you spell the other, double stack, easy stuff done. So if you're Falcons, you're most likely picking the Skeeter hero here because you don't see too much, at least you do see the offlaner.
There it is.
Very solid. Sven and Ench, they lane well together. Sven is someone who you can leave alone. Ench can move, another stack clear. You have armor against Bristleback. You have overwhelming damage too. I'm a fan.
You also just need to respect Shadow Demon with Promulgate, Facet, plus Disseminate. You put it on a Sand King, even put it on a Bristleback, put it on anyone. They're in the middle of the fight, damage we're getting returned. Aggressively, defensively, it is really, really potent when you have jumping heroes.
Yeah, there's a lot of value coming out of SD this draft.
There's
but
the puck.
also there's Disruptor and the Static Storm and the Ag Static Storm that will come out later in the game. Shadow Demon's one of the better heroes to play against this. If he's not caught in that backline, he can save against one of the big win conditions that comes from a Disruptor teamfight.
Falcons, only a couple stuns to the name. Of course, as mentioned, the puck. Kind of expected for GPK in this position. Will Falcons try and get one final stun to be an answer towards the puck? That is going to be the question.
I will say, statistically, it's looking pretty good for BB team.
Yep.
100% win rate on the puck, 100% win rate on the Bristle. Surely they can't lose.
This is super high comfort for them, absolutely. And also they had full reserve time going into these bans too. They should be feeling good. They do pick out of phase. Do you guys feel like they are going to run back the Lifestealer? Should they look for something else? It is still a double. You want something else?
They have free choice though. Like there's an Ursa if they want to be tanky and kind of soak up the jump, you don't die. There's a Lifestealer as well, like we just saw with the Infest. You don't care as long as you don't 100-0 from the Sven jump. Yeah, so many options for.
Yeah, let's see which ones Falcons is gonna eliminate, and it is of course BB team that will be banning heroes that most likely will be played from the offlane with the Mars already removed.
I'm just looking at this puck plus hoodwink and comparing
Yo,
it to the
bad one,
DK plus
back
hoodwink
never.
of last game. That was really instrumental in their comeback.
Una
Now,
bad one low,
DK
ya
is
might.
undefeated on this puck
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
why?
I don't think they're going to have that pacing that
they
the
can
DK
bet.
gave them. They're still going to struggle versus the Sand King. The issue is still there.
And they're okay.
That's a troll removed.
How are they going to make it through that early game?
I mean, both teams are relatively equal in their pacing, where it's like Puck can make reactionary plays, Sanking wants to be proactive, but Sven still needs to farm, Bristle wants to farm an item or two. Like, it's not as if there's this perfect core plus mid lane completely break the map. There is a bit of greed here. That's why I think Falcons might
Hello,
even
brother.
towards a last pick Doom potentially.
Yeah,
In a slower
brother.
game, you're chilling, you can buy Helmet Dom, buy some Midas, you Doom Bristleback, delete one hero, the Sven, the Sanking, they focus on the Puck. There's some options for Falcons to try and
Best
slow
driver
down the
will be
game
on
and hit their stride of farm that they like to do.
BP team, I'm also looking. You should look for a way to do something against the Sven. Like if I'm looking at minute 20 to 25,
Oh, but
so
won't
he's gonna
check it,
have
yeah,
like
but
Mom,
won't.
BKB, Blink,
But
maybe
won't.
an
You are
Echo
it, you are
There's
it.
nothing that really like stops him. Are you gonna burst him with those heroes? No, not really. If he jumps you first, he's gonna BKB and run through all of you, hit you down with an Ench running in, SDs behind Sanking as well. So BB team need to find a way for the early game, like Effie already mentioned, could look a little bit iffy there as well. But also just to have this answer for Pure that he can feel good and that the scale is on his side.
Mass ban ထားတယ်
I mean,
about
to me,
and
the
ban
issue of lane still exists. If
Yeah.
you look at Miro's lane on
Chan.
Bristleback, he's playing it into
Bakana.
versus plus one. They're going to have work hard, they're going to have
Be
sustain
master.
from Ench.
Yeah.
They're
Who
not
baka
really
Asha
going
wa
to
ban
be
ha.
or diving anybody. He's going to be
Asha
dependent on
tu wa
Ford
lo.
to come back. But if
Temple
that safe lane goes
Maggie
well,
King.
they're running into BB Team's triangle early on and taking it.
Naga
They're
le
also
ban
going to
ha
get their
yo.
pick of the litter for a last pick here on
ဒီ
Falcons.
DM မှာဘိန်းကြီးကတော်တော်
Like, what can
ဒုက္ခ
they
ပေးရ
pick
တော့
for
ဒု
Pure
က္ခ
that
ပေးရ
can
ဘိ
give
န်း
him a strong lane blind?
It would
Hello.
have been Ursa. They did
Yeah.
ban it out.
တော့
I
အတူ
mean,
ကြည့်
it
အောင်
depends. I'm not too sure what else
No,
is
like
like
an
in
ban
his,
ha.
in his arsenal. The TA
Like
with
an
the
little
Demise is
look.
also out. I'm still kind of looking at maybe the Lifestealer because it does give you the matchup. It is blind, which, you know, it sucks. You might get like Slardart on 24. But the problem is you have
You
to
are
pick
bad.
blind. You're going to have to suffer somewhere.
Yeah, we see the Faces Voids is one of the only heroes that we just saw of his most played that is still in the pool if he wants to go for something like that.
It's something I can see, but it's also it is volatile and slow. It takes a long time to come online because I do see a potential damage problem, and Void, he doesn't deal damage until like a couple items in.
I mean, there is one option with like a Morphling. You don't really die to the Sven, you can disengage. Sure, there's an SD to take clones of yourself, but SD's probably focused more on saving.
There's also Mercy. She's been ignored. You could just play for kills. You can pick her blind quite
Yeah.
comfortably.
That's true.
She doesn't have the scaling that Pure necessarily wants to
Mercy
play
bảo là
with,
cái
but
này
your
là
Bristle
ủa.
can do that for you. Your Puck can do that for you.
It's something we've seen Tidebound do. Like I would like it a lot if they're looking more at like their own draft. Disruptor, Marcy, again, it's a combo I love a lot. Strong lane, go together, you can double gate, you can make stuff happen. I'm maybe a little worried. I would say SD is kind of annoying, but you can play towards like with the rest. So it depends a lot on what do they value more.
Marcy
Is
here,
it, like, do
nature
they want to
profession.
counter Falcons? Do they want to worry more about themselves? Do they value the scale? Do they value the tempo?
Do they even know what they want right now? They're using all their reserve time on this ban. Because of course this ban is to then protect your blind carry pick into the Namar seeing absolutely everything.
I will say I do love that they had the almost full 2 minutes to think
Looks
about
like a
that.
nice
They
move.
ban out the slot.
anti-mate.
lock and anti-mate. Now
anti-mate
that
ထုတ်သွား
was
ပြီ
not on
နော်
our bingo
ဘုံ
card
ဘ
at
က
all.
pure anti mate ပါ
I honestly just always forget about it in drafts and sure, I think with Helmet Dominator it does have a bit more life, right? If this was a non-Helmet Dominator
Anime
activate,
famous
then
speed တော့ရ
it's
နိုင်တယ်ဗျ
kind
ဘာ
of
လို့
awkward, but
Oh,
because
best
of the
driver က life
pacing that
ဖြ
you apply, the map
best driver နောက် back
pushing,
က
scaling
ငွေနဲ့
the game,
ငွေနဲ့ပြီး
yeah,
ကျွန်
it's
တော်
going to be annoying.
Is
ဒီ
it
ဘက်က
time for
anime အတွက်က
Diamond?
လုံးဝ space ရဖို့များတယ်ဒီဘက် back ဘုံရဲ့ trap တွေက
That would be. It's
The whole
actually
workout
a
7
good
နဲ့
call
ဆို
to pick.
Game for it.
Yeah,
You're
team.
against Bristle, you lane well into AM. I mean, I will say one thing: AM is good, and he buys Dom. He's good against Sanking. You can you can sometimes maybe not get stuck.
အခုကလိုက်ချလို့
But I
ရတယ်
don't think
တော့
you
ပိုင်း
stop
အား
Falcons from what they're doing. So
Oh,
yeah, you
Sang
can
in there
play
got
your own
time in,
scale.
guy.
I personally
Like
don't love
you,
the
yeah.
anti-mage. Of course, it can work. It has been banned a lot, but it also depends on what do Falcons have here on the slot to counter it.
Well, I do know what
Tell me
they
about
do.
it.
They do not have any
Tell me
time
my
against
quality,
Huskar,
they don't
but
have.
Anti-mage versus Huskar. I'm sure it
Haskar ဟိုဘက
comes to
Haskar
people's
ရအောင်
minds.
anime
But everybody is like, nah, surely not.
I'm
And
on
then
the
it does
far
come out.
Haskar
But this
going wide
is
just
actually
ski
a
down
classic feat.
I
7
was 3.5 seconds away from talking
Your
about
control,
it. I promise you.
zero
But yeah,
demo.
off-lane Huskar, just
Maria
delete the lane.
stacking.
Go aggressive. Make sure Pure has to think
Okay,
about
no, let's go,
jungle.
let's go.
Make sure he thinks backwards. We saw in game 1, all right? What did Amar type in all chat?
Yo, game
Rank
2 ပါတခါ
50
ပဲ
laning incoming. Now he lost
Uzi
to
ဖြစ်မလား
Huskar to show the rank 50
What do you
that
want to hear?
his lane will not be fun. He will be looking at a comeback game on
ဦး
the
စီးဖြစ်မှာ
stage.
2-1 ဖြစ်ပါ
I love this pick because to me the issue with BB Team right now is their laning, and if you build another net worth advantage, BB Team do not have the same kind of draft they did last game that allows them to
draft pick
just
က
come back.
ဘက်ဘုံကိုပို့
They
ကြိုက်
have
တယ်
to
ဘက်
come
ဘုံ
out of lanes a little bit better because they're still
လေကိန်းတော့
facing
သွား
a
မှ
lot
ရ
of
မယ်ဘက်
tanking,
ဘုံက
and now they've got an anti
best step back.
play pretty slowly.
Yeah, I
Miro
did
ro
love
kar-
the AM
kato
pick that
Miro
much
lo
to
ne.
begin with, and I think this Huskar makes it like 40 billion times harder for you to play. I'm looking at BB Team to do something like creative and cool. Start 3 people top, look for like some early TPs. In my
mean,
opinion,
they
we
like-
gotta
I mean,
change
yeah,
something to AIM's game because if this goes default to what it looks
ညီရဲ့
like,
ဗီဒီယိုတွေလည်းဝင်အားပေးထားတယ် bro ဝင်အားပေးထားတ
Are
ယ်
you gonna dodge the lane? Are you gonna lane shenanigan it?
I mean maybe, but then they get
Grammy
do
ro
do
vào,
something.
Grammy
Whether it's
ro
lane
vào,
shenanigans,
sorry.
triple top, I don't care. Do something.
But also, if the game gets to later and
Set
Anthony
set
like
you.
butterflies and
Lily,
officials and show all
family,
this stuff,
they
then
call me
yeah,
that.
it's going to be great. So
You gotta get there.
အတူတော့
Gotta
game
get
ဟို
there.
ဗီဒီယိုတွေတင်နေတာ
You could try
ဗီဒီယိုတွေတင်နေတာတစ်ချက်ဝင်ကြည့်ပေးလိုက်ဝင်အားပေးလိုက်ပါဦး
Mira's
သူ
not going to have the easiest lane anyway. Might as well just bank on him to make a comeback through the triangle. Make sure Huskar doesn't beat up on the anti-mage too much.
Okay
Do we think at all that this Huskar was still on the radar for BB Team? Do we think they
I'm
completely
not
forgot
sure.
about it?
I would never have this on my bingo card. 24 pick offlane Huskar. Sure, Amar maybe, but no. This is a really tough one to read.
Any final
ဟိုကြောင့်
thoughts, T?
coffee လေးနဲ့ချေးအောင်ဗျာ
Shaking your head.
I just want to watch a Huskar absolutely batter a lane and then probably lose the game
မ
potentially.
နေ့ပြန်ပွဲကြီးဝဲအောင်တွေ့ပြီမနေ့ပြန်နေကမာနဲ့ကျွန်တော် extreme နဲ့တွေ့ပြီနော်
That's nice.
It does seem like
Yo, Ami ro,
Mark
chain name
Cameron
yo,
is
Ami ro.
thinking that this
Ami ro,
Huskar
le
might
amne
just
do ye,
push
yo.
us to a third game of this series, and I think that will make a lot of
I only
people happy.
yani,
But we're
Ami
gonna
le
find
ro,
out what's
ai,
gonna
nigga mane
happen in
do
game
yin,
number
o sai
two.
ma pye
Before we
wu.
do, we're gonna jump to the stage to see Tsunami with
မြန်
the
ဒုတိယလူအဖြစ်နဲ့ပဲရက်တော့အားမီလီ
Thank you very much. Yes, I am joined by AUI 2000, coach of Falcons, where we had a very exciting end of that draft, but we'll go step by step. You let through GPK. This guy's got 100% win rate with it. What's the idea?
ဒီတရားပြီးပြီးရှင်းရဖို့များတယ်နော်
Pretty confident against Puck as a hero. I think GBK is playing Puck the best in this
Dale,
tournament,
Juda,
but
again,
we
Juda,
felt like the
okay,
other
yeah,
heroes
Abuelo
were
le.
more deserving of bans.
Abuelo
Makes sense to me,
tinya
but
mwe
then
ba,
some of
no.
the other
Nyama
heroes
ire
who
puele.
maybe don't deserve bans
Ah, okay,
come
lane
through.
video, okay.
Anti-Mage 23rd pick. What's their plan
အန်ဒီမေ
here?
ဗျပြူအန်ဒီမေ
I think
Hope I
Pure just
skied
wants to
out
carry the
7.
game because I think like the lane's weird into SD because
Yeah,
he burns
Ama-
your mana.
a motherfucker
But
ကျွန်တော်
honestly, I don't know. Like we picked
Huskar.
Huskar last. I also have no idea.
တစ်ဖက်တော့
so
တော့မ
we'll
တော့ဗျ
see.
ကျွန်တော်ဒီပွဲရတယ်
Yeah,
ကျွန်
I
တော်
know you're a mechanics
ဘက်ဘုံ
nerd.
ဘက်ဘုံပို့တော့
Huskar,
ကြဘက်ဘုံ
no
ဘက်ဘုံ
mana.
ပို့တော့ကြ
What's going on in the right click situation? Well, I assume his mana doesn't get burned if he has none, but I don't know. Nothing gets past you, Curtis. You're a real authority on the case. All right then. I just gotta say, when Amar demands a last pick Huskar, do you ever push back? Are you ever like, I don't know if this is the game for that? And the thing is, he's clicking the buttons now, so you can't stop him. Like, we're just like, Amar, just pick your hero, and he just clicks it. We're like, oh, we thought we were picking Pangolier. Okay, it's a Huskar now. So, you know. Amar is unchained. Let's see if it'll bring him to success. Good luck in game number 2.
Okay ကျွန်တော် game number 2ဆောက်ပါပြီကျွန်တော်
Falcons have
ကျွန်တော်ဘက်ဘုံနဲ့
themselves
ဖက်ကုန်းနဲ့ပါကျွန်တော်
a rogue offlaner. He has picked himself
ဘက်ဘုံ
the
game 1မှာနိုင်တာပဲကျွန်တော်ဘက်ဘုံ
Huskar,
က
and
game 1
I
မှာ
can't
နိုင်ပါ
really blame
ဒါ game 2ပါ
him for it, Avery.
The man's feeling himself. He wants to
Obi do Ameli
get
do
some
re nip
revenge
ဖြစ်သွားမလား
in this game too.
အမေလီတို့
play
နှစ်
his
ဖြစ်ဖို့များတယ်
signature
နော်
hero.
အမေလီတို့နေကမာနဲ့တွေ့ရင်ကံမကောင်းဘူးနေကမာနဲ့နေကမာဟိုကပြန်ကောင်းနေပြီအမှားတွေပြန်
How
ပြင်ဆင်
much
ပြီးလာတယ်
damage
နေ
is
က
he
မာ
going to do? It's not a question of will he do damage. It's a question of
Puro
how
Gia Salo
much
la,
this is
eh,
going to be
ပြောင်းရင်
a
ပြောင်းရင်းစာလောက်လာ
very
ကျွန်တော်
difficult laning phase for Pure to get through, and then he has a long road of recovery. Or is he's against the Sven.
ပြောင်းရင်းတို့ strategy လည်းဖြစ်ရင်ဖြစ်မှာကျွန်တော်လောကဆင်းပြီးတော့
And the all chat is just raining in.
Oh yeah, Amar starts it by saying he's going to end the game by 20 minutes. Pure saying that Amar can only
ဒီ
play
နေ့က same ကောင်းတာ
cheese
ကျွန်တော်
heroes.
separate
He's
လို့ပါ
not good enough to
Yes,
play
separate
real
တော့တွေ့တော့
heroes, apparently.
ရာတူယူတော့ကျွန်တော်
It's quite the back and
So,
forth, and I'm
you know,
sure we'll
Liam
see
Lemon
more of
Chevy,
it as
yeah,
the
wow.
game progresses. But I
Every
cannot
day
believe
ready again.
that
Hold on,
Coach
you da- do da- do da-
Avery-
you
I
did.
thought, okay, Falcons are insane. Why are they giving GPK as Puck? And then when they picked the Huskar, I was like, oh, okay, it all comes according to plan. The Huskar will be able to provide an answer to the Puck after the lane.
Oh, let me
phase,
listen
but
to you.
apparently that wasn't even the idea at all. Amar
So
just
let's
went
hit
rogue.
ကစံငယ်အောင်ပို့တာနေတယ်
Can't stop him doing what he wants.
I guess
If
not.
we've learned anything, that is the reality. I do kind of agree with AUI's
Seven,
assessment.
ball
Like,
and
most of
maybe I only
the
thought
cores,
we-
Save will go down to snaking quick.
I'm on the feather.
Most of the
Feather
cores
be
that
like-
Falcons have in their arsenal are innately good against Puck. It's a lot of beefy heroes,
I'm
a
on the
lot of
feather.
heroes with stun and disable,
Probably
a lot of initiators, right? You think of Skeeter's
Who-
hero
who
pool.
really?
It's all these carries that go in, stun, lock heroes down, give you some utility on top of the damage. These kind of lineups can be really difficult for Puck to play into because he has a trouble bursting them.
Yeah.
He's constantly getting jumped. I agree with that assessment, but it is a scary hero-player combination to give away. He has absolutely salvaged some horrendous early games on this hero.
Yeah, he certainly has. I think Maureen's hero pool as well,
Well, I'm
right?
on
The
SMP,
three heroes that come to mind right now for him: Beastmaster, Sand King,
ဒါပေမဲ့အားပေးမျိုးရဲ့ survivor 3ကရန်ကောင်းတယ်တော့ TN လေးများရသွားမှာ bro TN လေးရဖို့မသိဘူးတမင်တက်တက်
already heat up. for
Sendသွား
Falcons.
lower
They
send တယ်တော့မပြောတတ်ဘူး
absolutely want to push this to a game
အဲ
three. They are
PVC နဲ့ကမလွယ်တော့ဘူး PVC ကသူ့ကိုပြန်ရိုက်အားမေလီတို့ပြန်ရိုက်သွားရပြင်မကောင်းဗျ
even in series against
အားမေလီတို့နည်းနည်း
this
strategy
year.
ပြောင်းဖို့လိုနေ
Last
ပြီသူ
year,
ဟောအရင်တော့အစာအုပ်ကြီးတိုင်းပဲလုပ်နေတော့ရအောင်
Falcons were the
မဟုတ်လား
ones to eliminate BB team
သူ draft pick က
from
ဒါ
the
ပဲပုံ
international. Now this is not an elimination match. We're here in the upper bracket, but revenge
Pure-
is still on the table for
Pure
BB.
was the one to eliminate them.
Okay ညီတဲ့ဒီကဲကျွန်တော်
Forget that
ဒိုရာတို့ကအရင်စ
detail. So there is
စ
definitely
စ
some
ပြီးတော့စောဆုံးပဲ
year-long
စ
revenge
ပေါ်တာ
on
ပေါ့
the table
အဲ့
here.
တော့
He is working.
အဲ
his
mobile
way
mobile
towards
မှာတော့မ
home.
ထွက်ဘူးအဲ့
These early waves have not been pretty. Burning
Mobile မှာ
Spear,
ဟိုပါပဲ
nothing you can do about it
magic
on
chat
this
လို့လေးပဲ
hero,
ထွက်
and
သွား
no mana to burn. Very little defense.
magic chat လို့ဆော့ကျင်တော့ရှိတယ်အန်တာလောက်အန်တာလောက် gain နဲ့ gain နဲ့မယ်
skill in it. Just get your helm up.
မြန်မာပါမြန်မာ
Trying to
ပေါင်းညီ
backplate this lane before the real damage is done. Rely on your other two cores to pick up the early game. I did agree with the panel. Like there was a
ကျုံးနေမဲ့ပေါ့
potential.
နော်
He
ရုံးနေနိုင်
tried
တာဒါပေမဲ့ငကမာနဲ့တွေ့ရင်တော့ဘယ်လိုဖြစ်လာ
really
မလဲ
rough for
ကြာ
him. The hero needs experience. He doesn't function that well in the 3-on-3 fight.
တန်တာနဲ့ပွဲ
I think
ကြည့်လိုက်
there
ရ
was
တ
an
န်တာနဲ့
option.
ပွဲ
BB teams say, nah, it's fine. Like we have played a lot of games with where Pure's laning phase is really difficult. We believe that. I mean, they have a lot of experience here,
I
right?
mean, there's difficult, and
Tao
then
nói
there's
với
flat
bà,
out
hô bác à.
impossible. What is going on?
First လေးကြီးอ่ะထုတ်ပြတ်
Pure
တဲ့
is gonna gank the Sven with a bushwhack
ညောင်
grenade. They
ကောင်းတယ်
slow
ညောင်
him
အေး
down, and
ပြူ
they
ဝါ
use
ရဲ့
the
ရိုက်ချက်တွေထဲမှာ
and now they
ပြူ
might
ဝါ
get
ပဲရောက်တယ်
something as
ပြူ
well.
ပြူပြန်ပေးရပြီကျွန်တော် what the
Pure's
fuck
gonna die for it.
တော်
Wait,
ညောင်
one
တစ်ချက်
more hit from
အာ
Pure, and he falls. Was it worth it,
တော်
Pure?
ပြည့်တဲ့ damage တွေတေးသေးလေးညောင်အေးတော်ပြည့်တဲ့ damage တေးသေးလေးဝင်သွား
Kind of. He couldn't buy out the helm. He's very close to it. He just cannot lane bottom anymore. You have to do
position 1
something
position 1
around
အတူ
that.
တူပဲ
I like the
ပြန်
creativity.
ပေးရတာည
If you can soak XP down here with Kata,
Maybe Matida,
this
yeah.
is what you're going to have to do in this game. It is an unlaneable lane. The equilibrium got pulled back very quickly. Crit
တင်းဖက်ကုန်ဘက်က
knows how to
1k
play
ကိုလီနဲ့
this kind
1k
of
ဆိုတာ
lane
ဘာတော့
super
မဟုတ်
well. He's going to block the camps. You're not going to get pulls off. You're not going to be able to reset it. And ATF, he will hold this here forever. And now you're mid, looking for, you know, you're just looking.
He's
If you are my
looking.
man, I
He is looking for sure.
သွားကြည့်ပြီး
I'm sure
He's not
GP
finding
You know, this is
anything.
like what happens in pubs is where GPK is like, bro, get out of my lane, man. You're stealing my experience.
He's hitting neutrals as a level 3
အလင်း
enemy.
အလင်းမတိုင်ပတ်နေရကျွန်
I
တော်ပြူ
mean,
ဝါ
if
နဲ့ဟော
Pure
နေ
makes a comeback from this, it's an all-timer for sure.
This is not fast. Not fast at all. Well, GPK,
ဆန်ရ
you
တော့
got
တော်
your
တော်အဆင်ပြေ
signature
ရ
hero. See what you can do this game. It's going to be a carry job for the ages. If you can pull it
speaking
off.
လေးလဲဟိုမှာအပေါ်မှာလောက်ပေးနေတယ်
Is this where you just lie, you know? It's like, you know, if you're GPK mid, hey guys, how's bottom lane going? It's going great, man. Yeah, we're owning. We're getting so
အေးရလေးပဲကြည့်ရမယ်အေးရအခုကကျွန်
Yeah,
တော်
Kaito
လိမ့်မ
is
အောင်
like,
မတော်
I'm
တော့
doing great on levels.
ကျန်ငယ်တိုးနေရအေးရဘောကကျွန်
He's getting a little
You are
rushed
boy.
down here.
Yeah.
Let's just not look down here for a while. You know, that lane's over. AM's into the jungle. We've all been there in our pubs. Just 5
But do you want
reports on
pressure
lane,
like being, you
focus
know?
on the mid lane.
And hope GPK can carry BBT
Marine Lights
through the
and
mid game.
ကိုထိုးလေးကိုရမှာညောင်မရဘူးမရတော့
I was going to say, he's the
you
one who's
are,
kind
John.
of freed up in this game.
Taka
He
throw
can run
nanny,
around and do what he wants, and that's extra disgusting because if he ever runs into the AM, it
အဲ့
gets
ဒီမှာဆင်းနေ sneaking လေးရတယ်မှာခိုးပြီးတော့ကတ်တိုးလေးတွေသူကနှစ်ယောက်သား
Crit has the most freedom here.
step လုပ်နေကြ
Sometimes you have too much freedom. It can kind of be hard to decide what to do when your lane's just empty very early. You can try and harass the support out. You can go for stacking here as well. They have an incredible stack clearing lineup. Shadow Demon, one of the best in the game. Ideally, you give solo XP to Amar.
has got
Amar,
a
half a second
Kato
too
Mio
late
light
to
up
stop
pied
the
of pitch,
Lotus
I'm a
from
pied
being
off.
grabbed. That seems like an unforced error there. Blood grenade going to be used on Miro. They are
မီရိုလေးလည်းအဆင်ပြေညောင်
Not getting him. And the
that was
tips come out.
optimistic,
They
but
did
maybe
get
they
it.
still
Mio
get
လေးပေးရမယ်ထင်တယ်
Borrow
ညောင်အေးအမ borrow
Okay,
strike
chaining up the disables a little bit, not
Okay,
great.
John,
Yeah,
maya
they will
wow,
be
maya
able to
wow,
walk
John.
away from this.
Too much
Okay,
damage.
let's try နေဆိုရင်မရပါဘူးညောင်
Respect the
စကီတာ
close
ရဲ့
plays coming out here, even with some Sven armor. way too much to commit on.
Strong
Fair
hammer,
rotation from
bonus
Mari,
strike
keep
will be
it
there.
up for
And
that.
Dota2
Does have the
Mateo out,
regen
Miro
room, so
Miro
these are
Mateo
not
out.
costing him too much in terms of resources, but time for GPK to farm.
Cháu là Haskar rồi đúng không ạ?
Net worth out of the
Để
laning
bám
phase.
pressure
Despite
mà chi
Huskar
bên này
having an
easy vậy
empty
nhỉ?
lane, this puck is up
You're
there
off
with him.
lane.
Katomi,
Am I off
a
lane?
Hail Mary. Hoping that he will be able to glimpse the
Em
support
có này lấy đâu mà
off
tiêu
this
cho
Wisdom
ba
trying
bốn
to take
ba
it
bốn
for
này mù
himself.
nhà.
But he is sadly
Ba
going to
bốn
find that
ba
he's
bốn
being
AP đấy.
sandwiched in this situation.
BB
Teleport
BB
away though,
BB
smart.
con này
So he
TP.
will not be
TP
ultimately
dead
punished,
thôi
but
đã.
that doesn't
Con
leave
này.
Pure alone in
Meru
lane,
lái luôn
which
này mẹ
he
Meru.
was already kind of alone.
I mean, he
Just
TP'd
wasn't in
down.
lane.
He TP'd down here just to get the one CS
Được
before
you
the
are
Huskar came
speed
back.
out sao?
That is all he's going to
Con
get.
này
'cause
tôi
he's
là
got-
you are me qua bị chọn em mà ball strike.
And now he's going to be
Nhỏ như toa bị em ạ.
silenced. And the
Toa
spears
tì ảo
will
á.
finish him off. That
Được
helm
play me arrow thì ra mà mình
dominator, it may
tập
have
vào
unlocked
tập vào
Animage
quá
as a
kìa.
hero, but what happens if the helmet
Rồi nếu mà
bomb
you
is
are
just
rồi nếu mà
far too
rồi áo
late?
dòng này nhỉ? You are chỉ này mà
He needs to
con
find 1,000
bảo
gold
anh
somewhere,
ấy
and
thôi
that's
rồi
gonna
anh
be
ấy nó
a
nhá.
difficult 1,000 gold to find. This bottom tower is just going to go down here. No one can come and defend this.
Anh em nhá ấy á. Ô
And
bác
it's
gặp
also
phi
the
này
inner
vì nó.
fire silencing you now, right? Really,
Phải không bác gặp
actually
phi này
gets
vì
his
cứ
hand
việc
for
cố
a
lý
long
này
early
nhỉ?
game. It's one of those matchups where losing that disarm doesn't
Ồ
hurt you too much if
phim
you
à về
continue
tôi
to
rồi
play him
sang
and
cái
just
này
build
hoàn
an
này biết hả?
insurmountable lead. This Huskar is off to the exact start Falcons want.
And that's why it's also going to be a good answer
Nhỏ
to
như
the
toa
puck
bị
going
dịp
into
kia
the
đấy ý càng
Nice
ngon.
rune snag.
Ồ đấy đâu?
Yeah, it's going to be great against the puck.
Tôi mới lấy cả
Honestly,
đôi đi
not
giao
too
là
bad against the bristle. This might be a lineup you rather have the silence than the disarm for a lot of this game.
Meru
Yeah,
là
they're
xem.
talking about Legion Commander being a great answer to the AM and also an answer to the Bristleback.
Nếu
You
mà
have the
rồi,
duel,
no.
you can force the Bristleback to look a
Em
certain
át rồi
direction.
tại
That's it. That's an opportunity the Huskar has later on to the game when he builds an axe.
Sang cái này
I
khô
think
bây
the
giờ.
Huskar is
Snap
giving you
in.
everything the Legion gave, plus an absolutely free lane. Whereas
Yeah.
the Legion, you could have played that lane with the AM. You would have lost it, but you could have
Sang cái
gotten
đại
more
cái
speed,
mà
you
lôi
would've gotten your helmet
wow,
to
không
lane.
bác ạ.
The
Nhỏ
Huskar
bé bố mà
prevents
lôi
that
lao được.
entirely. It gives you a 3-on-2 in terms of the
Sang cái
core
đại
battle
cái
here.
mà cho.
A lot of stacks
Ồ
coming out
sang cái
from
đại
the
cái này không bác gặp nguyên chúa đâu mà.
Maybe they can give him the pure, you know?
Ủa sang cái đại cái
Yeah,
mình
win.
xong này mà đi về.
30 minutes from now,
Nhưng cho GPK
keep stacking
phát
up,
clear
man.
rồi nhưng mà hòa rồi dạ vậy nhỉ.
He's getting beat up by these Marsh mages, man. Good news for
But
him
you
is his
are
tower
Ramon,
down.
yeah, you
Normally not good news, but very good news for him because now he will at least be able to grab some CS under this tier 2. Little harder to push him out of that area.
I'm sure not for lack of trying, though. Amar, I'm sure he's going to be quite
Oh,
aggressive.
Huskar,
Level
I'm gonna
7
buy.
Huskar, totally free farming,
Nhỏ
4,400
free
net
farm này
worth.
cái free farm em chạy này
Armor
hạt gái vậy.
done.
Hạt gái giờ đâu phải này nhỉ?
Tier 1
Đâu có
already
lý đâu lý à?
taken.
Lý đâu lý à?
Guess the question is, when you succeed this heavily in the laning phase, like I sometimes feel a little lost after I take the tower. Like, what do I do here now?
It can be awkward because the game progressed faster than you're used to it normally progressing. You don't really interact with heroes in the same way.
Nhỏ cái view ở lâu
You
bị.
almost wish they would have stayed on lane longer so you could have killed them a couple more times or whatever.
Đây
You
bắt
know,
đầu
the
xem này,
stats
nào
may
clip
not
nhạc
be
bộ
ready
lại.
yet.
Teleportation này.
Amar's definitely going to have to keep the pressure up, keep playing on BB side of the map,
He
not
just
let
uses
Pure
blink.
come
That's
back.
a
À mà
little
lâu chuyện nào.
dangerous.
Nhỏ này là live kia này, nhỏ view ở live kia
Amar
này
will
rồi
punish
này.
him with a couple of spears to the back.
Nào rồi anime cả, nào mà số mà anime cả bá mà
That's how
mà ở
very
lâu mà kia
very
đấy.
helpful. I mean, fire is kind of
Nhỏ
self-explanatory.
Miro lên đôi rồi, đôi này.
You should know what comes with that.
Tôi rồi tôi rồi cái ngoài rồi.
Getting
play
XP
me
on
out
the
of it.
Hoodwing, GPK continue to just sit mid. It's going to be about this mid tower to me. Like, that's the next pressure point for Falcons, particularly with this Enchantress. They're currently swarming it. This is a tower you want to defend in this game if you're a PB team because it's going to hold the map together. You lose this, your AM is just going to have nowhere to go in the long run.
Bé muốn rồi đúng không? Xếp play vậy thì còn gì đúng không?
Spam is really limited right now.
Alo anh, bé đem sang không giống.
Nobody was set up here. They're going to keep this
Bro,
catapult
save lead
alive.
out,
This is
yeah.
good efficient damage. What's the response?
The roaming anti-mage. That'll be the response. GPK does actually sneak in and teleport here, but
GPK vào lâu máu.
does not go for Snaking, who is already level 6.
Đến quan trọng làm
So
sao?
they can't even attack him, really. You want hit in? There goes the epicenter burst.
Ông nguyên hóa bị nhỏ như ball strike. Đã bị sang đó. Rồi đây là view mà tiêu vào cho mà con à bị GPK nguyên hóa bị cho. View vào bị. Thằng con vậy mà. Cho mà Huskar.
It's not entirely free for a BB team who cannot fight back against this Amar Huskar.
That's a massive win, though. You defended the tower. You got Pure involved.
If you
got
are limited,
so much off that fight just in terms of
Có ngoài
experience
nhở,
and gold.
bé bốn được à?
And you brought down the Sand King. a huge win. He's the big tempo setter for Falcons here besides the Huskar taking
ဟို
objectives.
ကစံကင်းနဲ့ဟိုနဲ့ပြန်ပေးလိုက်
Well done for the AM. I mean, that was probably the lowest impact mana void I've ever seen in my life, buddy.
ပြေးမှရမယ်နော်ရောင်ပြူသွားရင်မင်းပြေးမှရမယ်
Did get there. And right
ပြူသွား
now,
လေးပါမိသွားမယ်ထင်တယ်ရောင်
what an amazing amount of space the support Animage is creating.
โอเคတော်သေးတာ
Got himself a Lotus.
Also, like, he went in that fight, instantly helmed the Enchantress creep, insta-died to
ဒီက anime က Roman ပုံတယ်လိုက်တော့
Wasn't the greatest usage. I mean, his early games.
Dominator တော့ပြီးသွား
Man, I feel for
ဟို
him.
လုံးတော့များ Dominator ကထည့်ဆော့ကြတာရောင်
Last pick
Anime နဲ့
counter pick.
Dominator နဲ့
It's not a skill issue, it's just you're put in rough positions.
You know, I think my favorite part about this situation, there is somebody out there who's 3K MMR who is an expert on this.
ကျွန်တော်မှ sneaky လေးမိသွားပြီကတ်တော့ခိုးပြီးမိသွားပြီကတ်တော့လေး
Somebody out there has hundreds of games on
ဟိုဝင်နေ
this.
ဟိုဝင်ဟိုလေးနဲ့
This guy's doing his map movement is
Yeah, he can't
terrible.
go
This is
you
not
are
how you're
can't go
supposed to
no.
play jungle Animage.
I mean, that was
Oh,
the expert
yeah.
they should have consulted in preparation for this game.
It's true.
Another Dom creep kill. Added up here. The lead is building. The thing is, it doesn't look too bad right now, but I mean, it does look bad, but it doesn't look as bad as it will soon if this Sven gets away with what he wants to do for free.
Yeah, they keep on finding kills. Thanks
Yeah, he take
to
on me.
largely.
တော့ control ကျိနေ
GPK
control ကျနေ control ကျ
Another
I'm a
map void
distraction.
attempted, but now he's going to be silenced off of the
ရောင်
disruption.
flame shot နဲ့မရတော့ဘူးကြောင့် ပြူမှားပါကြောင့်ဟိုကောင်ရမလားဆိုပြီးတော့
Nice
Yeah,
patient
like,
from Crit.
အမမရလိုက်
Gets that counter spell out of him, throw out the disruption, set that easy kill up. No mana void. to
Anime
crit.
တော့မွတ်နေတာဒီကောင် okay ကောင်းလိုက်တာဗျာ
Down, Amar thinks that he is untouchable and he may be true on the one-on-one against Pure.
နောက်တစ်ခေါက်
But now
control
he's
အမ
dropped
နောက်
Crit
chair
into a bad
right click
situation as
right click
well. Looks like
ကျွန်မ
they will
distraction
both
မြုပ်ထား
fall
ဆို
to
ရင်
the GPK puck.
ဒါပဲ
They gave this man his
control တော့
signature
ပြန်ရလိုက်
hero.
နှစ်ကောင်တော့ပြန်ရလိုက်အဲ့မှာကျွန်တော် 7
Already trying to
အကြောင်းမှာ borrow strike epicenter နဲ့ဝင်လာပြီးကျွန်တော် GPK ပြန်ပေးရပြီခဏကြောင့်
Decent amount of damage. Bushwhack
Yo,
goes
7.
away, and GPK with
တော်သေးအောင်
Royal
GPK ကျွန်တော်
Aurora will be able to escape.
teleportation လေးနဲ့ပြေကွာဒီဘက်မှာကျွန်တော် sneaky လေးရတယ်ကျွန်တော်ရမလားမသိဘူး
mana for TP out.
အိုးရောင်ရေ borrow strike ကြီးစောင်းရဲကောင်းနေရောင် GPK ပေးလိုက်ရပြီ GPK ပေးလိုက်ကောင်းလိုက်တဲ့ marine
Now to
ညောင်
run
ရေ
down save as well, who's going to stick himself in the trees, but that's Scurry. It
that's
only
pretty
lasts
ဝင်
so
ညောင်
long,
borrow strike
and
ဝင်
the
ညောင်သွားတယ်
sandstorm
စောင်းရဲ
surrounds
ကောင်း
it.
နေညောင်အေး marine
What a sequence from
ကျွန်တော် bad ball ဘက်
Mallory.
ကတော့အချိန်နေမကောင်းတော့ဘူးဗျဟိုဒီပုံစံတိုင်းတော့ပေါ့ anime ပစ်ထားပြီမယ် anime ကတော်တော်ဘာမှကိုလုံးပဲမရှိ
Not enough to secure this tower.
He's got a haste rune.
A power
He's
trade
got
on with you,
mobility
what?
for days to relocate around the map. At least Miro's getting some time.
Yeah, Miro
to hit the
တော့အဆင်ပြေနေ
tower
ကျွန်
as
တော်
well.
ပေါ့
So there
Miro
was a
ကတော့
decent amount of space on both mid
Miro
and
push လုပ်
top.
ပေးတယ်ကျွန်တော်
Damage being done.
ဟို AN ကကျွန်တော်
They're just farming so much.
Roaming ပုံစံပဲဆော့တာသူလုံးဝ
This BB
အပေါ်အပေါ်လေးအောက်လေးအဲ့လို
I think there's
Oh, no, all in my Nilo Miaro, anime to like.
Like you need to go really late for this AM puck to get in a position where you're battling these three cores. Sure. The script is not the same as it was game one. You didn't mirror Falcons lineup. You don't have that innate tankiness to fall back on. This game can accelerate a lot faster for Falcons, particularly if the Huskar starts going through the Roshans and pushing high ground. That's when you're going to be in big trouble here. Need to keep ratting this game as much as
တော်
possible.
သေးတော်သေးပါမဖြစ်
Glimpse back,
မဆော့မနဲ့ဆော့တာ7
keeping the Shadow Demon out of that range.
A few
to
are
catch
in
the
it, but-
heroes
but
as
then if
Mallory
you are-
was
you are
right
there,
behind
John
him
Evie,
looking
look.
for a kill.
I mean, this is good action for BB if they don't lose anybody off these plays. Make Falcons run around,
Just
don't
get
give
out,
up
like-
kills.
like
Continue
take for
finding
a
a little
load.
farm here or there, get the lanes out. The Bristle's going to shove in mid, the Puck's going to shove in bottom. That's effectively a failed gank move for Falcons.
ကျွန်တော်
We
marine တော့အဆ
saw
င်ပြေ
how
အဲ့
much
ကြောင့်
work BB did in that game one in terms of playing
ကျွန်
from
တော်မှ
behind.
strong ကောင်းလေကွာ
This is not a bad team at playing
ကော
from
င်းလိုက်တဲ့
behind.
ရှီးလေး
Oh, Mallory.
a lot
There was an opportunity there. The Animage had already used his counter spell. Pure is just dragging him around the map. It
ကျွန်
feels
anime
like
လုံးနေတာ
Falcons
ရောင်
is-
တကယ်
is
ဘက်
chasing
ဘုံက
too
တကယ်
much
လုံး
at
နေ
this
တာ
point.
ရောင် anime ကတော့
It does feel like that a little bit.
roaming ပုံ
They just want to shut the AM down so much. They're committing a lot of resources for it, but there's easier kills to snag here.
Mallory will hold the tower. Amar has made the call. He doesn't want to be the man to do it. His BKB is flying out now.
some game ဆက်တာသွားနေညောင်
Did not want to risk getting picked off before that is in his hands. Now that it's here,
ဒီ game ရလာပြီ
I
ညော
would
င်
imagine some of Falcons would love to be able to take a fight, but
I'm a
initiation is a
Huskar, yeah,
little
yeah,
bit
Kevin. Oh,
awkward
BKB
unless
ne,
Mallory is
I-
the one to do it. If Mallory is trying to clean up lanes, they don't really have anybody to start it.
Sanking shows you know where the catch is. That's the big issue right now. He is pushing towards the Ags. At that point, you can easily force a fight. You can also just put this Huskar into the Roche pit and let him clean it up. Dare BB to contest you.
I was a little bit surprised that Amar didn't go like the Glimmer Cape or the Blink Dagger build that we've seen some of these Huskars go for.
Could have been interesting. A lot more aggressive early. This is going to scale a lot harder and give you the Roche confidence to just solo it up.
Okay, em control me quá vì nhở. Control là bị lại nhở.
Was unaware of the situation because he had that word on the Tormentor area. Still though,
Em cao trả lại giỏi.
still look for that fight.
GPK lấy toa mình đấy.
Now the silence attempt.
Strong ham mà cho Ghost Strand. Đấy một chậu à, cho GPK là đám chậu à, cho em
Not quite. They are super close.
Báo nó nguồn tiêu.
From the BB team.
There's nothing you can do to capitalize on that. No good mana void target. And that'll be Amar going into the pit. He came to this part of the map for Roshan with this BKB timing. He will leave the part of this map with Roshan, do or die.
Yeah, this is the part where Falcons may start really escalating that net worth difference, right? You take 100%. This Roshan, Amar sticks up here, he starts taking some of your Ancients, he takes the Tormentor, it's going to grow and grow unless BB team can find a way around it. Certainly not going to be through contesting this Roshan, it's got to be through ratting out the map, which BB team have shown they've been able to do time and time again, particularly Pure on some of these more annoying carries.
It's going to be a tough game. Maureen looking for the setup.
Dòng ball strike mà. Abyssin là ball strike khai con này view ali cho thế à dòng. Cho thế xíu à. Đó tiêu á là. On the get tiêu á, đánh mình giờ lâu này. Đó sang nghe à.
I think spelled his demise.
Yeah, he got hit by Searing Signet off the Shadow plus level 3 Disseminate. Little bit of extra damage boost to help you push through that.
True.
Nice.
Anime.
I mean, every time you take AM out of this game, you gain another even more minutes that you're going to have to push that high ground. Second Roshan, that window is going to be a lot better for you.
Sure.
And then you are cái lâu này là nó nhảy dominate này không mà phốt lắm mà cái đôi lên khu
versus Animage, which still a matchup that Sven can take to the lake.
Oh yeah, Skeeter can just take this 1v1. No
Skeeter liu giá lại
get super far and great Silver Edge buyer. I'm surprised on that AM. Early. Huge burst damage, huge physical burst.
Miro trying to draw attention, but he's going to as both Amar and Skeeter double down on him and will take away that tower kill they were hoping for denied.
Feels like taking an early lead off of a lane victory. This time they did it with a little extra cheese. Do you think BB team is just as capable of making it as they were in game 1, or are they in a worse position? Huge kill if they can get it.
They're going to dance around the from snaking. It's keeping Skeeter alive. Certain things like that. Now that Amar's here, Skeeter goes and an extra one. Crit in from behind. And the Demonic Purge on save.
Control demonic basket đá mà. C và B lại ạ. Nhưng mà lười đâu, nó bé bông à. PvP như mà nó là server như là nó là gì đó biết thôi lại.
Your heroes are just not going to get it online super early. I mean, you can't.
Eco ba là vì. Cho anime của chiều không phải server Eco ba thì mà cho anime ngài mà.
You're not going to get it super
early. Đâu mà thôi tiêu. But we need a little longer. You are super deep in the lanes. The Helmet Dominator is going to have to give you the same type of action here. That's what Pierre's trying to replicate, but it does make it a lot more difficult. Falcons should be able to find more here. To play on the inside of the map and constrict the lanes. Particularly with how strong this Huskar is. He's just going to be able to push lanes in and show. You have the Hoodwink Sharpshooter for some burst damage to try and bring him down, but and the two supports as well. They're both saving supports. The Enchantress can run in and tank the sharp shot. She can deal the target you're trying to burst, as we saw there. You have a Disruption to play around this game as well. And I think Falcons are going to feel a lot more confident scaling in this game with Shadow Demon versus the Ringmaster. Just a way better hero at that 50-60 minute mark.
I think also the how strong the Bristleback is going to come into question when you're matched up against double Dispels. Right, you've got the Demonic Cleanse and you've got the Cauterize. thanks to the facet on the Huskar. So the goo is just not really going to be too impactful against the Huskar.
Sneaky လေးကိုရမလားဟုတ်လိုက်ပြီကျွန်တော် drain กว่า
Run into
ရသွားပြီကျွန်တော်အမှ this step is Spain ကြားထဲမှာ
Yeah, I've seen this one before.
Yeah,
အမှ right ကလေး
they do get it because Falcons they're not going to back up from the map position that they're in right now. They want to stay on the Radiant side of the map. They're going to take these tier 2s. They do not want to go back and try and bail out their
အီတာလီကိုတော့ပြန်ရထားကျွန်တော်
If I'm Falcons, I don't want to turn this game into trying to catch the AM. I
Roshan time နဲ့ကုန်တော့မယ်ဗျ
we buy pipe and go high.
Roshan time 10 minutes
This
ကျွန်တော်
Huskar
10 minutes တွင်း
with
မှာ
Pipe Souls
စိုင်းမ
or
လို့ရ
something
မှာ
like
ကျွန်
this.
တော်
Buff him
ဘယ်
up,
ကုန်ဘက်က
give him a little extra sustain for the burst, and just force BB to
Wait, no,
respond
Johnny,
to you
no,
time
Miro,
and time again.
no,
That's the type of
battle,
gameplay
I
that's going to feel great if you can get there.
တည်ရဆိုရင် Roshan time ရ
I
တော့
was going to ask you who is going to go the pipe, but then I see it. Snaking is so farmed. He's got Solar Crest, Drums of Endurance, and is working towards that pipe.
This is the power of Enchantress. Spells, not always that impactful in the pipe compared to a lot of other fives. Like a
ဟိုက
Phoenix or
Solar
something,
Crop ပြီးသွား
but
sneak
you get to farm so
Sneak
much
in.
more. You can
Solar
contribute a
Crop
lot of utility. And this can be something that helps you go high ground early in this
ပြီး
game.
သွားရဲ့ item ကိုကြည့်ပါဦးသူ
Way
တော်တော်
before Pure is ready to
survive
take that engagement.
လုပ်နေရတယ်ပြီးသွား
Pure is he's getting
public boy မှာအဲ့လို AM ဆိုသွားပြီ
He's working his way
နလန်
towards
အောင်
his
တူတော့
Manta. Once he gets to Manta, you've got full rad action.
ပြီးသွားမလို့ရ
And even more disgusting than
Yeah,
traditional
you
enemies
speed,
is
Sandy
because
Vio,
he's going to
Fanny.
be riding with both his hero and his illusions
If you want him,
and his held
play no.
concrete, but
ပေးပြီးကြောင်းမှာ ghost trap ပြီးဒါပဲရောင်း3ချက်ပဲရောင်းအေး
That feels real good if you are Falcons right now. That feels so good.
စကီတိုင်းရိုက်ချင်တယ်မှာပြီးသွားတော့တတ်ထော်ပါကြောင်းAM တို့ရဲ့ထုံးတဲ့အတိုင်းပဲ မွတ်နေပြီတော်တော်မွတ်နေ AM network ကိုကြည့်အောင်ကြောင်း
Level 13 AM.
Marine အောက်ကိုတော့
The
ရောက်
problem with the Dom ratting is you miss a lot of the experience. You get extra gold, but you're not getting XP there.
sure. There's that disruption.
ဟို distraction လေးတော့ငုံပြီးတော့စေးပေးထားဆိုရင်ကျွန်တော်မရတော့
The BKB
အမှတစ်ဖက်ပြန်တော့ပြစ်နေပြီကျွန်တော် flame shot ကြောက်ကြောက်တယ်ဒါပေမဲ့မလောက်နေတော့ကျွန်တော် GPK ဆိုဘယ်တော့ပျောက်လို့ပျောက်သွားမှန်းတော့မသိဘူးကျွန်တော်ဆန်ကင်းရဲ့
Where's
All
the
strike
ultimate?
there.
Where's the tips is what
ကြားထဲမှာ
Marlon
လေ
is
ဘယ်လိုပျောက်လို့ပျောက်သွားမှန်းမ
This
သိဘူး
is going to be a very fast
ဒီ
game
ဘက်ကတော့ဘက်ဘွန်
by the looks of it. Falcons, they
ဘက်
got
ကတော့
the draft.
ချင်းနေမကောင်းတော့ဘူးကျွန်တော်ဟိုကချိုးပြီးကျွန်တော်ဒီချင်းနေရဘာမှလုပ်လို့မရဘူး anime time ရဘာမှလုပ်လို့မရတော့
force the issue. Huskar
အော်
completely
ထိုင်ကြည့်နေမှာပဲရမှာဘာမှဝင်ချလို့လည်းမရဘူး
saves behind him.
ဟိုက7ရဲ့ဆောင်းရမ်းဖတ်နေတော့
And Amar the friendly, he might be a tad bit tardy, but he did promise
Yo, me ganan
a
na lang yung
20-minute
minute.
victory.
Now the lane yun,
24
yo,
minutes in, and it feels like it may already be over.
40 ကာထားရဆိုရင်ကျွန်တော်ပြန်
I
တော့
don't
ယူ
think
မ
you
လား
could ever come back to these base defenses of pure.
ကျွန်တော် anime က online မှာတော့ခိုးတော့လုပ်တယ် pure လေးကခိုးတော့လုပ်နေတယ်
Your tier 4s just like you just don't have good mana void targets.
တော်
It's
တော်
really only the
item
Sand King
time ရ
that can
တော်
turn
လိမ့်
around.
ပါပြီကျွန်တော် anime က
870 mana right now. This is not Leshrac. It's not Storm Spirit.
Yeah.
ငါကတေတာတော့ 0k
Well, we'll
0k
see what
နဲ့
he
ငါက
can
တေ
do.
တာပြီးတော့တော်တော်ရုံးနေဗောဘာလို့အဲ့ AM ထုတ်လိုက်တာလဲလို့တာ
Just looking to jump the Sven in. He'll take
anime
anybody
များ
here.
တယ်
They've got
boss
to
run
try.
အမ
Go after the
boss run အမ right ကျွန်တော် best step ပဲဆိုတော့ဘာမှမသိလိုက်ဘူးကျွန်တော်
They got the coil
အမ green ကွန်ရထားတယ်ဒါပေမဲ့မလောက်နေဘူးရှောင်းအေးဒါပေမဲ့မလောက်နေခဲ့ဘူး
heals him up, but disruption goes out. BBT was
distraction လေးနဲ့
close.
ကတိုးလေးကဲ
They
သွား
really
ရ
were.
ကောင်းလိုက်တာရှောင်း
But it slips through their fingers. And now that high ground push is coming. Falcons, they don't need to wait
No,
for
my power
ages.
strike.
They can kill you without
ပတ်သက်စင်
any
လောက်ပဲဆို
of
ရင်
all
မ
that.
ရတော့ဘူးကျွန်တော်အမ
You just don't have damage.
ဒါပေမဲ့မလောက်တော့ဘူး
You can land all
But
your
one, that
spells
means malado.
perfectly. It's not going to matter. You maybe bring down one hero if you're lucky.
And Pierre's hitting the tier 3 like he's really a threat, but he doesn't have the damage to actually hit buildings yet.
This pick just completely backfired.
Back
with
on
the
arrow,
last
but
pick
why?
counter pick. That's why that slot is so hard because you have to pick a carry blind there. You're worried about all of the laning heroes that ATF has that can ruin your day.
မလွယ်တော့ဗျာ
And
now
you'll always find them.
now 50k
Really
ကိုလေးနေ
difficult to
ညော
find a carry.
I did
Back
like
on over,
GPK
malero,
just
no,
rushing
AN time
straight to
yan.
the
Yaw po,
Plasma here.
totoo da, di
It's
ba na
the
na,
only
totoo
chance that they
tuwa
have
ma
to be
yan,
able to
lagi
burst
na,
down the
ako
Plasma.
mega na lang
Like, he
pira
gets
eh.
that hit on him, amping up
Yeah,
some of
mabara
his damage,
uma.
the hood
Uma
link with the
huwa pa,
boomerang and
no.
everything else.
Mara
They
time
really
bang.
have come close
Low on
sometimes.
yan,
Not
over
that they would
7
feel
yeah,
like
low
you
on.
can change the game too much, but
That's,
Don't get
that's
me,
the
yeah,
issue.
yeah.
You could go in a fight. You bring this
Let's
husband
die,
down. You
let's
still
go,
might
let's
lose
go,
the
let's
fight.
yeah.
That's
Okay,
the
let's
scary
go, let's
part
go.
here. All that execution.
Okay, malao na,
You
lao na,
have
jo-
to
jo-
go for
jo-
that route, though.
ဘယ်ဘုံကြိုက်တယ်ဆို
I'm not
တော့
even
သွား
sure
လောက်
he
နိုင်
can afford to go something like Aeon Deskure that he's looking at. I think
Yeah.
you have to just go full damage, full throttle, try and go for that kill.
就ခုန
Pray that's enough. Full dataless
ကီ
now.
တာကြီးကမီရိုရိုက်သွားရဲ့မြင်မကောင်းကျွတ်စင်ဟောင်းကြီး
He is looking to double up his
ပလိမင်း
opponent's
ပွင့်ထားတာ
network
ကြီး
on
ကို
this
တဲ
carry
ရိုက်သွား
if he can get there.
ပြောင်းနဲ့ cost run ကြီး
And level
7
20
ကြီး
as
อ่ะ
well.
ချက်မိုက်
Here
ဆောင်း
in
အား
this
ရ
match,
ကြောင်း
man, you're looking
ပြော
at
င်း
second Roshan guaranteed spawn in the minute here. You get that, you go high ground again.
โอเคကျွန်မ smoke ကန်လာပြီကျွန်တော်
This game is just over.
ကျွန်တော် marine ပါမယ်နဲ့တူတယ်ဟောင်းကြီး marine ပါမယ်နဲ့တူတယ် marine တော့ပဲ miro ပါမယ်နဲ့တူတယ်ဟောင်းကြီး
What is one of the only
Miro
high ground
တွေ့ပြီ
defenders
ဟောင်း
that
ကြီး
they have. Miro, he's spotted.
ပြီး
He
သွားပြီ
activates the blade mail.
ကျွန်တော် play
Mars
မင်းတို့
gonna
လောက်ထား
wait out
sneaky
the blade mail, but Skeeter, he doesn't need to wait
သွားပြီ
so
ပြီးသွားပြီ
much.
ကျွန်တော်
And
Miro
they've
ပေး
got
လိုက်ရ
him in control. He's just gonna put himself in a corner, beg for his life. But Falcons give you no
အော်
mercy.
dispersion နဲ့ KY ဟောင်းကြီး dispersion လေးနဲ့ဆောင်းရမ်းလေးမိုက်တယ်ကတိုးလေး
Skeeter blocked the shot anyway.
Oh, he did.
Falcons on point. Maybe still looking for something.
They don't want to let these supports just take the outpost like this, but you can't
အမ
jump.
strong hand မှာကျွန်တော်နှစ်ချက်ပဲ
Skater has already
နှစ်
jumped
ချက်ပဲ
to
ဟောင်း
Katomi.
စေးကဘာမှန်းတော့မသိ
down from
စေးကို
BBT.
ကျွန်တော် skater ရိုက်သွား
To
နှစ်
the
ချက်ပဲ
Roshan pit they go.
ဒီ7ကြီးကမရတော့ဘူးမလွယ်တော့ပါဘူး
I just don't know where the damage is going to come from. Has to be third item on Pure, something else on this bristleback so he can survive. I mean, this Roche is just gone. No way to contest this. Rat bottom lane.
ပြူတော့အရှုံးတော့မပေးသေးဘူးကကျွန်တော်ရတဲ့နေရာမှာဖမ်းတော့ဖမ်းဒါအနေများတယ်လို့ပြူရရဲ့မင်း
Yeah.
Plus 100.
Tower's not really in danger of falling anytime soon, but he can draw their eye.
အနေများတယ်လို့ပြူရရဲ့ကျွန်တော်လူရှင်မှာထပ်ပေးရပြီ
Yeah, they might just try and contest it. It's a really tough contest.
လူရှင်တော့ဆိုင်မလားတော့မသိဘူး
Vegas here might just be the game
ရှာတော့
anyway.
ရှာနေ smoke ကန်နဲ့ရှာတော့ရှာနေကျွန်တော်
Falcons have the read.
မလွယ်ဘူးတော့ဒီ anime ဒီ time မှာဟိုအောင်ကြီးထက်နေမှရမယ်ရော
It's
မ
gonna
လွယ်
be
ဘူး
on the offense. Boomerang
သွား
goes
ပြီ
out.
ကျွန်တော်ပြူရ
He's already
ပျောက်ပြီ
gone
အမှန်
for the BKB, so it's too late to get that kill. Miro, he'll run after the supports as best he can, but
သွားပြီ
Skeeter
ကျွန်
is
တော်သမီးမရဲ့
making
ကွာ
short
တွေကြားထဲ
work
မှာ
of him with all that extra
ဒါ
damage.
ပက်တဲ့3အောင်လို့ပျောက်
Three
သွား
down on
ဘာ
the
မှန်း
side
တော့
of the BB team. This is truly a hopeless game for them.
Yeah, this one.
ဘယ်ဘုံဒီ game 2
Looks
က
like it's
ကျွန်
just in the books. I mean, you tried to go for
Don't
this
move me out,
crazy
like,
play. You
enjoy it out,
didn't
though.
get the angle. Falcons were ready for it. You jump the AM in, hoping you find an isolated Shadow Demon. Guess what? The whole team's there. There's the Enchantress pipe. This will break the high ground completely.
ညောင်7 daddy လက်ပါ
Only
ပါလာ
question
ပြီ
is, will there be any more all chat in this?
သွေး
game
ကို
too?
တစ်ချက်ပဲရိုက်မယ်ပုံမယ်ဟိုဘက်က
I think that's what we're
ဟို
all
က
waiting
display တော့တစ်ချက်ပဲရိုက်မယ်ပုံမယ်
bated
ခုန
breath
နှစ်
here.
ချက်ရိုက်ကွာကြောင်းပြောင်း
I
မယ်
think we all know the
ညောင်
outcome.
anime
that's
တော့ပါ
coming.
ပြောရအောင်မလို့တော့ anime မှာဟိုကဘာမှမရှိသေးဘူး
With 4.5 minutes on the
anime
Aegis.
Mana Stein
At the pipe.
Fury က
Find
ဘာ
out to
မှ
get
လုပ်
through
လို့မရ
that
ဘူး
as is,
7အတွက်ကလုံးဝမသိရင်
considering
ဟို
BBT's entire focus right now
အိတ်
is
ထဲက
just
ဖားလို့ပဲ
Maverick
ဘယ်ချင်းရိုက်တတ်တဲ့တီး
And the
အဲ့
enemy
က
he's just not ready.
The one point of hopium here.
Okay.
You do have Kataomi rushing Ags on Disruptor, and he will get it here.
ကျဆိုင်မှာ ghost chapter ပါလာပြီ
He has just absolutely gone for it. Always a powerful item. I don't know if you have damage to bring the heroes
က
down
တိုမီလေးကတော့
under
က
it,
တိုလေးတော့ fan တော့ fan
but Falcons might confidently group into it because they've done it time and time again, and they've just shrugged it off. Might not expect this Ags to come out in this game, given how one-sided it is.
Yeah, there's a real chance if like the Enchantress gets caught inside of it.
anime
so you
ကလုံး
don't
ဝ
get
တော့
the
လုံးတော့
pipe
လုံး
off.
Yeah, the issue is you have Shadow.
You
You
are
can
good
only
you
bail a
don't
hero out under
show
it
me
anyway.
video.
Yeah.
But hey, maybe you land a 4 or 5 man here.
I mean, Falcons.
BK.
He hit a 4-man static storm earlier.
sticky လေးတော့မိသွားပြီကတိုလေးမိပြီဆိုရင်ကျွန်တော် disperder နဲ့ပြန်ကယ်ပေးထားရကျွန်တော်အမှ strong hand မှာကျွန်တော် ghost strength ရိုက်မယ်ဆိုရင်ကျွန်တော်ဟိုဟာနဲ့
And now Miro, now the epicenter
ကျွန်
goes
တော်ဖြောက်ပေးထားရဆိုရင်မရတော့ဘူးသွားပြီးကြောင်ကျွန်တော် epicenter အမှသမီးမရဲ့ကွာ
It would never be good enough.
ကျွန်တော် save လေးကကတိုလေးတစ်ပင်ကြားထဲမှာရှိရဆိုရင်အခု save ပေးလိုက်ရပြီကျွန်တော်
They will not lose a
woman
man
white ကျွန်တော်
as they
ပြီးသွား
push
ပြီ
into
GG
the
ကျွန်တော် GG ခေါ်သွားပြီကျွန်တော် game
Game 2.
ကျွန်တော် game 3ကိုဆက်သွားပါ
Ballin
တော့
asked for the tips, and he received a
GG,
few
no.
as this series will go the distance. The all chat.
အဲ့ anime graphic ကြီးအလုံးမဖြစ်ဘူးအဲ့တခုအမှားပါသွား
Good old last pick Huskar. I
Game
don't
3
think
setကြီးရပါ
ATF is going to get that again. You catch him once, fine, but you should not catch him twice. That said, this is a scary team to give that last pick to when you have to pick that carry blind. And I think if BB team are in that position again, they're going to have to adjust in terms of what hero do you want that can stand better, because you cannot give Falcons this kind of lane domination. They run away with it. Like, people meme on them for being one of the slower teams
anime
in the
you
game
told
in
like
the
that.
background, but this is a squad where they will also just push.
anime က
if
ဒီ
they
ကဘာ
feel
မှ
like
လုံး
it's
လို့
strong enough
လောက်ွက်
advantage.
မရှိတော့လောက်ွက်
Absolutely,
ပြောင်း
and we may see it again in Game 3, but I
Okay,
think
Game
one thing
3
we
မှာပြန်
won't
တွေ့ကြပါ
see is that Huskar.
Yeah, definitely. I do think that this one was
Game
one
3
of
မှာ
those
တော့ကြည့်ရအောင်
games
Game 3
where
ကတော့
the
အကျိတ်နေ
writing
ပဲ
was
ကျွန်
on
တော်
the wall from almost the get-go with this Huskar pickup against the Anti-Mates, and I think BB Team also would agree with that. That means that
So
maybe
the-
the breakdown of this game, because it was
ဒီ
going
မှာ
to be
ရှုံးသွား
quite
တဲ့အတင်ဟိုက
straightforward.
hero နဲ့
It
တွေ့မယ်
probably could be of. I mean, we can mention other things also that do matter. So I want to say that this was the best possible last pick Falcons could have.
Oh, the
gone for. But at the
hero
same time,
and
I do think it starts with you picking anti-mage. I don't think it was a particularly good AM game. You were already going to lane against SD4, it's going to disrupt you, mana burn you. So I think
Nine one
it's not
and
just like
three,
that you let Falcons have the kill,
Evasion
but
and
also
three.
starting yourself. And overall, Falcons, they get their good heroes. The snaking and
ဒီကဟိုက damage မလောက်နေတာလို့ရအောင်ကြီး damage မလောက်နေတာတကယ်ယူ
They're protecting each other. So it's also the gameplay that comes on
ကာ
top of it.
တိုမီရဲ့
I think another
လက်စစ်လေးတွေတော့ရိုက်ပြင်မယ်ဒါပေမဲ့
game
သူ damage မရှိနေကြဘူးရအောင်ကြီး7ရပြန်ရိုက်သွားအောင်မှာမရဲ့လက်စစ်တွေကြမှာရှော့သွားပြီကျွန်တော်
Both of their side lanes were doing whatever they want. Miro on that bristle couldn't do anything because Save was trying to fix whatever he could wherever he could. He couldn't stay on that lane and try to make a play with him or secure his farm. They were chasing this Huskar.
Yeah, this spread out.
Slow him
Sweep.
down a
Okay,
little
we
bit,
need
and
to roll
because
it
of that,
down
Sun
one.
was also
So
free
mà
to
tí
just
đâu
try to
mà
use
Amazon mà tiêu
without
nhau nhưng mà
any,
ပြန်မရnhưng mà con
contesting it.
Yeah, I mean, Save was having a stellar time, but of
Abi
course,
senကြားထဲမှာ
Huskar
တေးသွားတယ်
doing
ညင်
such a
အောင်
great job. Even Marine asking for a tip there on that highlight, but with SD and
Ama
an
rồi Miro
Enchantress,
nhìn mà
no
ngon nhau.
matter who goes in,
Miro
you're gonna
quá
have
Miro.
a heal from an Enchantress, a heal and a
Đây là
dispel from the Shadow
nhiều
Demon,
mà
and a
ngon.
shot from the Shadow Demon, and so you have this confidence. There's like this ability to not care, and that's what Falcons were lacking in the first game. They
Ama
couldn't
này
just
Discord
simply
đã xì
go,
vì
they
quá
had
nhau.
to kite and team fight and put on like an excellent show. This time around, it is just
Discord đã
pure
xì là giờ
brute
tao nghe
force.
con này là nhau.
Full send, in you go, and of course it helps when Anti-Mage is jungling at minute 4.
And they needed I don't know, quadruple
Especially in
like,
the three,
performance
bro,
from
con
maybe
mà
even
nó
all
chơi
the
về
other players to actually
đã
like,
nó
make
chơi
it
về
work.
vậy
Like
quá
everyone
nhau
puts in
nhau.
like 3x, 4x overtime. Because yeah, it's
Đi mà
not,
anh
it's
mà
not
ai đang
that
mà lo được
common
mà
in
chơi
Dota,
ấy,
especially
nhưng mà
nowadays
ngon
Dota
nhau.
that you get like this Exodia last pick where you're just like
Trời,
90%
nhưng mà
of
let's see-
people
let's
also
see
think
mà
they're like, yeah,
Arrow
they're
strike.
screwed. What are they gonna do
Chơi
about
về
it? And he tried with like some early movement, minute 2, you ganked this offlane. It doesn't look real. That's how hard the game is.
Yêu
Yeah, I
à
think
u
the
đầu mà
only
quá
thing
hả.
you could have made a case for was just Hoodwink starting bottom with that anti-mage,
Yeah.
trying to get a couple of kills on that Huskar before they leave him, before you then start bringing your anti-mage from the gate. I mean, their read on it was that they could just leave him be, and that wasn't the case. But even if they did tri-lane, having to adjust that much says something about how much that last pick got them.
Oh, it was honestly, it's the most ruining thing I've probably seen in maybe more than 1.5 years, maybe even 2 years, because it's just so uncommon. Like you usually have maybe cheese pigs that come out with okay, but you don't have that many of those anymore. But yeah, standout player, I think snaking. Look at the pipe, the Solar Crest drums, the early gem. It's just when you give these guys their
Game three-
heroes,
game three là cho nó
especially
tiền nào
we
nhỉ?
have
Một-
to
một
say,
cái toy nào?
offlane Huskar is not
Phải
traditional. You need the guy to even be a Huskar player, and Amar, he does it 617. There's nothing more I can praise him for.
I mean,
It's
not
impossible.
even that. I think when we heard AUI on stage talking about how this
Yeah.
draft went down, he's the one that just clicked the button. At that point, it is all on
You
him.
can't stop him,
I'm gonna play this.
Yeah, you're in for the ride.
Yeah.
And this is a damn good one. He can do this to me anytime.
Yeah, but
If you're on his team.
Exactly.
the amount of times he's done it in pubs, though, to be fair, these last pick Huskars, he doesn't care. He also first picks Huskar in pubs. He kind of does it all in regards to Huskar. And the story of the series, though, is whoever has second pick feels like they've utilized last pick really, really well, right? The lifesteal in the first game had this kind of inevitable timer. The Huskar this time dominates the lane. So I feel like whoever's got second pick is going to have the advantage. I don't know who's won the coin flip for this one, but yeah, second pick just feels broken, at least in this series.
Yeah, I will also say, they should have maybe thought about it. Is that really mean to say? Because I do remember there was a period of time when everybody played the Huskar against the anti-mage.
But it's like all things, it comes in and out of favor, right? 7 months ago, Phoenix offlane and Phoenix mid was the counter to the monkey mid and the
Yeah.
monkey carries. It then disappeared. The joyous thing of meta, it is never set. Meta is able to be set through the players going, I want to play it. There's no rule book which says you need to do this, you have to do that. We don't have game mechanics that stop you on other games. We can do literally anything in Dota.
It's true. And this is just look, Pure has 100% kill participation at this point because he's roaming, but just look at the network. This is a 2K deficit. And yeah, I feel like it's not easy to fault them for not banning Huskar. In hindsight, yeah, you can swap out Mars for Huskar if you want anti-mage, but there is no other player, there's no other team in the world that is going to do this to you. I think it goes back to the AM pick itself. What do you think, Mira?
I think that all of this is true, and maybe it's hard to remember things like Huskar, but at the same time, Anti-Mage is wildly optimistic in that position.
Absolutely,
like,
yeah.
Like it's not like, oh, they should have banned the Huskar if they're gonna pick Anti-Mage. Why not just pick Marcy? You had the opportunity to pick something more stable that gets countered by less, but they went for something a little bit wild. I think they wanted to give Pure a hero he'd have fun on and maybe catch them
that was
off
very
guard.
fun.
Yeah, they wanted to catch Falcons off guard, but what they ended up doing was just tripling down on that. If BB team don't have a good laning stage, their games look awful. I mean, that hasn't changed at all from yesterday.
Yeah, this was definitely a rough one for BB Team. But hey, man, it might just be a fan service to get us to a third game, That's always fun. What was not fun was, I think, the amount of fun Pure had in the game. I don't think that was fun at all. And I know we talk about it a lot, and Purge is going to talk about it some more.
Thank you, Cheever. Yeah, I just wanted to break down why it is so bad. For those of you that don't know exactly how these heroes function, some changes that have happened in the last year since you've been here. If you haven't noticed, Huskar doesn't have any mana anymore. He used to have mana. He no longer has any mana. That means that when you're playing an anti-mage who drains mana from your opponent, you just don't get that bonus damage. That means the first skill you have that you normally skill here just doesn't do anything to Huskar. So that's the first problem. The second problem is you're also laning against a Shadow Demon, who's actually quite good against anti-mage. Because if Shadow Demon disrupts anti-mage and he has his first skill skilled, your illusions that are created will drain your mana as well. So he just doesn't even get to skill his first skill. It doesn't do damage to Huskar, and it would hurt him against the Shadow Demon. So he basically relies on his second skill, the Blink. That's going to allow him to disjoint some attacks that are flying at him and decrease some of the damage that he's taken. He could also skill his third skill, which reduces the magic damage he's taking, which he is by the Burning Spears, but it's only going to reduce 15% of the damage that he's taking from the Burning Spears. He could maybe reflect a Shadow Demon spell, but it's not looking great. So basically he gets into the situation where he is just dumping regen into his body, trying to keep his health up enough so that he can get some last hits. And he's just struggling on it. He's at 860 net worth here, and the Huskars are already at 1,200. And once he gets a boots advantage, it's basically impossible to lane here. So AIM is just getting what he can, which is why he went for that cool rotation, which did work quite well. The fact that he assisted in killing the Sven is huge. Him dying afterwards, I don't even care that much because it's going to get him back on the map a bit quicker. But this was the next problem. He's teleporting into lane. He gets a Helm of Iron Will. He tries to drain some mana from Malorine. That doesn't quite work out. And then he goes to jungle. And here's something that basically has not mattered in almost any game is the Rabble Rouser here. This is the buff from Enchantress. This means that any creeps that are attacking your enemies do more damage. So he's forced in this jungle at an abnormally early time, 4 minutes in, and these creeps are now doing 20% more damage to him. So his life is already almost impossible and made even harder by the fact that there is an Enchantress in the game. So extremely tough situation for the anti-mage here. Goes back to lane finally, and then he just immediately gets ganked as well by Mallory, who probably anticipated this based on the fact that he went to heal. So insanely tough game for him. We'll just have to run it back and hopefully give him a better hero.
I don't think we're going to run back that anti-mage, that's for sure. And Rabble Rouser, I mean, not for me. I learned something new today.
I forgot about that entirely.
Yeah, me too.
Because that innate from Enchantress was not really relevant when they gave it to her. Like, we thought it would be game-breaking when we first saw the change. It sucked. It didn't mean anything. Carries were still clearing camps anyway. Not if your carry goes jungle, level 3, then it owns.
It definitely did own, and right now I'm sure that there's some good talks happening with both teams about how they're going to approach game number 3. And while they're talking, of course, you see loads of people still around the arena, and they're walking back and forth. You're wondering, like, what could they possibly do other than watching Dota here in the Barclays Arena? Well, Slacks has found out exactly what you can do here.
We are here for the meet and greet session with Heroic. Now, you guys might not know this because you're not at the arena, most of you, but if you are at the arena, after everybody wins, they get to go and have a meet and greet. We're not talking about a lame-ass signing session where they're away from you. Look, they are physically touching you. So this is the greatest kind of moment you can have. Let's go ahead and talk to some of the folks in the crowd. Hold on one second. Sir, if I may, what did they smell like?
They smell like honey.
They smell like honey, ladies and gentlemen. Get down here quick. Quick. So sweet, so beautiful. Let's go talk to some crowd members here waiting in line. So sorry. Who's over here? Oh, whoa. We have seen you going absolutely ballistic in the crowd. Every Heroic game, you're top of the cheering here.
no recollection of that whatsoever. I don't know what you're talking about.
Fantastic. Well, it is so good to see you here in their winning fan meet and greet. Did you go? Oh, you couldn't go to the last one. They didn't win. But are you going to do more of these? Are you going to come every time they win?
Of course, yes. I'll be here all day, all night if that's what I need to do.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for keeping us alive. Hey, all right, well, enjoy. Delete Sniper, thank you very much.
I have a tip for Ice Frog.
Okay.
To make Dota the best game in the world, just delete Sniper.
Okay, delete Sniper, but put back in old techies. Do you agree?
Yes. Please, yeah.
Hell yeah. Best
old specs back.
Yeah.
That's it.
Best of both worlds, baby. Thank you very much. And I did want to say, would you mind if I showed off your cosplay? I love cosplayers, and we finally have a Grimstroke cosplay. I've never seen a Grim before. What made you want to choose to do Grimstroke?
I haven't seen it before.
You have not seen it before either. Well, that is fantastic. Thank you for the Glimmer Cape? I didn't even notice. I'm such a noob. I'm so sorry. Okay, please, Glimmer Cape and disappear for us on the camera, all right?
My boyfriend told me this is your favorite hero.
What the f is this? Thank you. I thought we were friends. I don't want your disgusting Wind Ranger. I'll take it. Thank you very much. Absolute filth. And that's it. After every single game, you can come and see one of the players or the whole team. You can see them, you can talk to them, you can greet them. So make sure to find your favorite winners whenever you want. There are a few things to do around the arena here at the International. Thank goodness we have some really cool stuff to check out. And one of these really cool things is this nice wall of history, which features all of the different jerseys from all the different TIs, including their championship rings, which is really, really cool. This one, 2019, oh, beautiful, with the purple and the little indents in there. The golden TI, I think that was 2021. The best jersey, I have to say, that represents Dota2, in my opinion, I do have to give it to the purple jersey. Look at it, it's iconic. Rings, though, are super sick. Let's take a look at the rings. So, we have some not too interesting rings here at TI1, but they do grow in power. We start going for the Aegis to the nice, more purpley Dota logo, but the years of the NA Dota, that's where it begins. EG on the ring. That is super sick. The Wings ring, unbelievable. Liquid is nice. OG, very nice. It's what second OG is a little better. But if I had to choose, best ring ever, guys, this Wings one is unreal. I could see some very, very rich person wearing that in real life, so very nice. Anyway, cool trip down memory lane. What else do we have going on in the arena? Let's check it out. Okay, next up is the graffiti wall. This is a classico of the International. Lots of people coming in and signing it. See if I see anything interesting here. Zowie! I wonder who that was. That's very nice. Oh, here we go. Death is my enclave of the beer. Let's see here. Oh, somebody did their Twitch handle. Twitch Kitty, I'm not gonna read it. Kitty Kraken, I hope you got 1 million subs. Thanks for putting it on the wall. You got 1 sub right here. That's very good. Anything else? No, it's just literally a bunch of random Twitch channels and names and curse words. It's fantastic. I actually think that sums up the community pretty well. Good job, guys. Well done. Those aren't the only activations we have, of course. There's a bunch of stuff all around the arena. Like this beautiful little monument. There's a little selfie station. You guys thought I was toxic before. Now you can pretend like you're Viper. That's just like that. That's a classic Viper voice line. Poison berry. Just like that. Thanks for watching, everybody. Back to you guys.
Awesome to see all the things you can do and take pictures with. I will say, though, that Glimmer Cape definitely for me took the cake there. That was very cool to see, and I hope that the upcoming series we're going to watch is also very cool to see, focusing our attention on game number 3. Clean slate with these two teams here. Effie, we got Falcons, we got BB Team. Both teams very much deserving and to be the top 6. One of these will be top 3.
Yeah, I mean, even though BB Team won that first game, I'm a little bit worried for them going into this game 3. Because in both games, the one that they got crushed in and the one that they won, they also got crushed in that, especially at the start. Like, there is something going wrong with their early game that needs to be fixed.
The one good thing is the fact, like, the manner that you just lost in is so bad, or like it's so easy for you to just say,
True.
we can go next. You know, it's like the one time where I feel like usually people say this to like cope. it's actually real this time. It's like, guys, whatever, 24 Huskar, like this guy, he won't get it again. You go free and easy. And I think Falcons are going to do a similar thing about game 1. We were up 10, 15k gold. Make it simple, go.
I'm watching the coin toss. That's all that matters for me. It's going round. You don't see it, but BB won the coin toss. So I think they're probably going to take second pick. And with that, they can protect themselves from this ultimate last pick. Because again, both teams have shown that they're very good at utilizing this. And in game 1, BB showed excellent scaling under pressure, the ability to fight. In game 2, they never got to even get to the game, right? So if we ignore the previous game, BB are competitive along the side of Falcons. It's just draft dependent.
I think if you give Falcons first pick, though, you're in for a world of pain, because there's either going to be the Sand King coming out, or the Chen, or the Enchantress, or even the first pick Hoodwink themselves to take it away from BB team. That's a tough one. There's not enough bans for a Falcons first pick.
Yeah, I did want to touch upon that because both games now, BB team did open with that Hoodwink. Of course, once from second pick and then once from overall first pick. Surely we're going to see something different for game number 3. At least I would imagine that there's something different prepared.
Yeah,
do you think that Hoodwink is still so highly demanded?
I think it will probably be picked again, but maybe if BB team get to close the phase later and then get into the bans, maybe it will allow them to take out the Enchantress, which Falcons have now ran twice into it, which it seems to be posing a huge problem to them. Or Falcons, like Mira is saying, maybe they first pick the Hoodwink themselves, but I'm not sure. I feel like they should still rate the Sand King incredibly high. It's 2 games in a row where he just rolls on everyone. He has good early game, has the stacks, does his Blink Dagger. We've seen it again, and we'll see it again if they allow it.
I think you just break one of the 2 pieces, and what BB team have shown is their Sand King solution, DK plus Hoodwink. You either ban the DK so you can comfortably first pick the Sand King, or you pick the Hoodwink, take that away, and then see if you can get that second phase Sand King.
But it's also in the interview, right? In game 2, before game 2, Aoi contradicted himself. He said they're a good team against puck. They liked it. They don't mind playing against the hero. But in game 1, they banned it. In game 2, they give away the puck. They beat it. So maybe going into the third game, they just don't bother with puck anymore. They just let that through. And then like you were mentioning, you ban a DK, you ban a Bristle, you ban one element of how a second pick BB was able to pick apart Falcons.
Yeah, I will say the DK was banned in the previous game, but by BB team themselves.
That's because they were in a position where they could get their puck. So they wanted to ban a puck counter, but when Falcons saw that DK was taken out, they were like, okay, we'll pick Sand King.
Yeah,
so there is something going on there with the DK plus Sand King.
No, for sure. And I think this is also really cool when you do get deeper into these tournaments, and suddenly it's like this series, we don't see the DK, then suddenly you do see it. You see it banned in the next game too, even by their own team, because they're like, okay, if this is banned, we can take the other thing that we do want. So yeah, going to this game 3, I'm just expecting both teams to play in top form. I feel like neither of them have really anything to lose. Like in game 1, BB team make this incredible comeback. Game 2, Falcons kind of get like a freebie win. So going into game 3, both teams should be feeling, I would say, maybe as clean as 2 teams could going into a third game at TI.
Yeah, I was going to touch upon that, because how do we feel these teams are feeling? Because we've talked about both teams, and the experience is there. But for both, other than for Skeeter and Snaking, the TI experience is not. And it is different still, T.
Yeah, I think Falcons, if anything, probably toned down just a little bit going into the second game. Sure, they're still spicy with their all chat, but you could feel that there was no, cockiness anymore. It was just like disciplined, strong Dota with the element of like the odd, typing here and there. Game 1, you could feel that they were being a little bit more making mistakes, and for BB, I feel like they've had every emotion possible so far at TI. They've had the lowest of lows, the highest of highs. It's like, I don't really know where they're sitting right now.
I know where they're sitting. They're right there.
Wow.
Got him good.
I'm sorry.
You had to do that one. It was too easy.
Oh, well, that's okay, because we should be talking about this third game. We should be talking about what is coming our way. And I am happy to announce that it is time to see exactly that.
Team Falcons versus BB Team. Game 3.
So we do have BB Team on the Radiant side, and they will have overall last pick, and that means Falcons is Dire with first pick for themselves, and we're in the draft, and we are about to see what changes will be made. There are some things that just don't change though, because the Naga Siren's still getting banned, we see the Pugna still getting banned, Lycan also not a hero we're going to see a lot of anymore because today it had great success, even on some of the losing games, but we'll see. There's already bonus time being used right now to go for this ban, and they do respect ban the Kataomi Bane.
Yeah, it seems like it. So they did play into it in game 1. Maybe they didn't really love their Ringmaster response, so like where they feel like, okay, if they do this, we're more likely to pick this type of hero. I'm not sure if there's much else, like maybe they want to first pick a specific hero that also Bane is very good against. But yeah, you're also taking out the Comfort, and BB team, they're doing the same, taking out the Sand King.
The dance is over, but Sand King, DK, Hoodwink, we're going in a different direction, which suddenly becomes the question of Beastmaster. He's been relatively ignored in these games.
Wow, Chen also. They've left in the Snake King Chen for the first time, I believe, in this series.
Correct.
That's a scary one. I mean, last game, you had Falcons that broke 2 of the unbeaten heroes from BB team with the Puck and Bristle. Let's see.
And the ignored Marcy is actually banned on the side of Falcons, and we will see the Chen from Snaking in action.
But we did see this in the first game, right? The idea of BB gave Falcons a dominant hero, and then they picked it apart, right? Same thing could be happening here, where Falcons finally get access to their Chen. Again, very strong hero for them. And yeah, I'm interested to see which angle BB's going to go. Against Chen, you can go for like Primal Beast and really dominant, strong on the lane, not caring about Chen. But you have to respect all the auras they're going to bring.
Oh, just go for the Hoodwink again.
Yeah, sure.
3 games in a row, why not? I will say, for similar reasons, Chen is considered pretty good against Hoodwink. You have the mana burn, you're kind of annoying, you can fight back. So both teams, again, should be happy with what's happening. But this is an undefeated hero and a most banned hero against this team for a reason.
I need to see damage on pretty much every pick, though, from BB. If they just go for like light control and scaling, Chen will take over the game. You have 20 to 25 minute important fights around Roshans and towers. You just feel like you won't be killing anyone. So I really want to see if BB want to be competitive against Falcon's best hero. It is killing in lanes, damage in the early game.
What do we think here for BB team? They do have to open up again out of the phase themselves. They have another band that they can protect themselves with.
Could still be DK. I think they're pretty happy with how their DK plus Hoodwink went.
But if we argue that that is picked up against the Sand King, Sand King's not in, do you still like it as much?
I think it did a lot for them, and it enables their Hoodwink. I mean, another approach they could take would be something wild, like picking some anti-zoo hero, like the Timbersaw that we haven't seen in a while. Beastmaster still in the pool as well. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to build their own Miro.
Something nice that you kind of want to do against Chen. Chen lineups generally fall apart if you can kill the first guy. Like AoE is not, sure it's good against Chen, but then there's Hand of God, there's a pipe, there's your AoE magic resist creeps, whatever it is, you need to kill this one guy to break this formation. So if you're able to have a single target high DPS hero, or like Effie's mentioning, you have a DK with a Hoodwink and give it like another DPS guy that when you jump this first guy, he just gets blasted out of the game through the heals.
Heroes like SD still being available for Falcons. If Falcons identify that's
scary.
That's a route BB is going to be taking, Crit's going to be able to pick up another hero to try and combo break that.
Has Miro played much of Pangolier? I know that this is a hero that tends to be liked. They can't be flags. It's like okay team fight. I'm not saying they will pick it, but I'm looking more for something like this. I would say there are other heroes like Bristle. They feel like okay early on, but there's a lot of auras and physical like armor that the Chen gives to his teammates where I feel like Bristle isn't actually that amazing against the hero.
Miro has not played Pango so far at this.
Okay, then I feel like that's just not happening.
And are we really just forgetting about Beastmaster? Have they just deprioritized that hero in this series?
Maybe they feel like they will just go for the DK. Why not? Maybe to go back to the Beastmaster, maybe they don't really want to play it into Chen, even though you can still play with, the Axes and the Aghanims. I don't really think it matters.
Well, what if you play it with Chen, because it's still in the pool?
Oh, you mean 4 Falcons?
Sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it would have been good for either
team. Yeah, why not?
I mean, we mentioned the DK, but yeah, it's just half of their duo that allows them to play make, lets them set up for quick kills around the map, always have some kind of potential to make it so that Falcons don't farm for free.
Yeah. I mean, you have, in my opinion, one of the 2 approaches. I like what T mentioned, where you could look for a save with like the SE. Here's the hero that you want with the Beast. Yeah, I was saying you can either go for the save against the DK, or you just give yourself enough damage that you kind of lacked earlier Against the DK with like the long range, you don't have the hoodwink, so maybe there's like Grim, there's Snap. God, this looks super chill.
I prefer it with the fact that Maureen's been playing it mid more than offlane. I think in the way that Falcons are playing, I don't want to see Amar take it to offlane. I want to see it still go to the mid, still be the pick-off style of play, and kind of give life to your game. Because Beastmaster will always activate a Snap or a Chen. And then it opens up for both Skidder and Amar to be farming a lot.
Oh, a main stage favorite. It's always fun to
Magnus
watch
is
Magnus
like
in action.
iconic TI hero. You've got the scaling, you've got the displacement, you've got RPs, you can flex him, he lanes well. This is just an amazing hero.
Doesn't have the win rate though, but that's
True.
okay.
That's okay.
And what if their idea is that because you see a Beastmaster plus Chen, you know there's going to be early tower pressure, you know there could be early attempts at high ground. Magnus is a hero that's good at punishing those attempts. Maybe they want to have them 5-man into like skewer isolations, maybe forcing them to go a little bit too far out into the map and punishing that with Magnus.
Yep, not opposed to that at all. So, like, Magnus is a very good insurance policy to have. They just need to make sure they have layers of the fight with it, right? And for Falcons, when we talk about the killing that one guy, right? Kelly, you were saying about bursting that hero. When you have the Snapfire with the Aghanims, you get a good enchantment with cast range, you get a Blink Dagger, you're going to be able to stop that DK hoodwink initiation on a hero. Sure, if you get hit by an RP, you're also going to be dragged back and killed, but there will be so many moments in this game for Crit to shine and to give more life to the fights.
Just a nice combo, too. Mortimer's into Roar, like you've always got some kind of play to make.
It's also something that Falcons have in like every draft. It's like this 1+1 kill combo, sometimes even on multiple people, like 1+5 or 2 with 4 or the offlaner with the 4. We get a Warlock. It's not a hero we've seen too often, but it's a very good hero. He has good laning, can have an early ultimate, can also buff up people. Makes it easy for your carry also. It's most likely a last pick hero. You lane with Warlock. I mean, you should be chilling.
Warlock's the support which gives life to any carry against any offlane combination. Because of the heal, the Fatal Bonds, in a difficult lane, you shove the wave. In a good lane, you find the kills, right? So Warlock's enabling Pure to utilize that last pick in the draft and go, no matter what you want, we will try and give it life. You're not going to be an anti-mage in the jungle, because this Warlock will fix every problem.
Yeah. It also just lets them play versus the Zoo in the sense that you have the Fatal Bonds for the early group up that's going to happen on the side of Falcons. It seems like they have this idea that they can just punish the early group up with their big team fighting spells. I don't know if I personally believe in that idea. I think playing against Beastmaster plus Chen feels so overwhelming and so exhausting, even if you think you can out-team fight them.
It does, and they're proposing some very strong lanes. Like, you still have most likely Amar's here that's going to be picked later, but Chen plus Troll is a very strong lane. Like, you've got the creep, Chen is hitting you. Troll is one of the most aggressive carries in lane. He will always help his support on the side. You're going to get 2v1'd over and over and over again, and it's a lot of buffs too.
He's also not a carry that if you skewer back, that means that you've killed him successfully. Unless you chain it with the RP and you have enough burst to kill him during that, he's going to live through it, turn on his ult, get healed by the Chen, and then the team will turn the fight. It breaks the idea of wanting to skewer back a carry and kill them.
And it feels like every core that Falcons have at the moment is the same recipe, right? They're independent cores that if snaking is a second late with a hill, it's not that much of a problem, right? A mid Beastmaster, he goes for Aghanims, BKB, early refresher. Like, as long as he doesn't die in the RP, he's going to be able to turn it around. Like you mentioned with Troll, the same thing. Yep. So Falcons, no matter which core is offered up to the Magnus, there is a chance that the fight can kind of be extended, dragged to the new position, and they can still take it. It's not as if the one person who's dragged away, I'm really sorry, it's not like we're seeing like a sniper or a drow, like these type of heroes that once they're caught, they are just deleted from the game.
So Falcons...
Dead heroes, by the way, at TI. Don't know why
it's true. Like, so Amar has to pick out of phase. Generally, when Falcons play, they like having this double team fight, like the double jump. Like, so I'm assuming that they're going to look for like another beefy guy that's going to go in. You have a strong lane with Snap, unless they want to run the Beast offlane, which I feel like they're probably not going to.
They could play Pango, and then they'll keep it open. Pango could go either mid or offlane.
That's true.
It does seem like Falcons, with the ban of the puck, they still keep it very open as well, where the Mag and the DK are going.
I still do quite like Pango for Falcons, but what I need, regardless of what comes out from Falcons, is a wow factor pick for this overall last pick for BB team, because I think their idea of just punishing a group up early by out team fighting them is so hard to pull off. Like, you have to play exceptionally well to do that, and you know one of your side lanes is already losing because you see this Troll Warlord.
It's definitely not that. I mean, these picks, as always, like the last two picks in the draft, they're very detrimental to both teams. I would say for now, I see a slight ease of execution for Falcons. Luckily, what's on BB team's side is that they are the second pick team. They're supposed to wow us with like the very last pick of this entire game.
The thing with Falcons is they just need additional a team fight, right? That one way to start an engagement, right? The Pango that's already been mentioned, the Mars, just if I'm here, we can fight around it. The respect.
The Huskar band coming out. Gotta appreciate
I mean, I guess
that.
it kind of makes sense. Like, if you're a BB team, you most likely want a melee carry in this lane or DK because you do have the Magnus offlane to play with the Empower.
If they don't care about stuns in regards to Mars and Pango, then going back for like the Underlord from Mars could be an option. Just another hero that can quickly jump in. When Mag grabs a hero, you just pit right on top of them, TP in, throw down whatever auras or buffs or right clicks that you want to provide. Again, there's a lot of options for Amar. Again, we've listed 3. He might even just probably pick a 4th different one, but...
Yeah, he's got plenty of good heroes or like signature ones available. You mentioned the Mars, they banned the Ursa. There's some other like even dead heroes. I mean, we don't need to like go down the list. He's
There's
got
so
a lot
many,
of options that are all very good.
Let's see which option Falcons go with for themselves.
How often has the Melon Man been picked at TI?
Not very frequently at all, I'll tell you
That's
that.
a bit sad.
That's Tidehunter.
Yeah. Well, let's see.
Would be pretty cool. Outside of the break of Hoodwink, other than that, yeah. Strong, independent Tidehunter.
Well, let's see. The one other good thing for BB team, they have a lot of reserve time later.
I don't know if that comes through on the microphone at all, but a couple of very happy people here.
As they should be.
As they should be.
2 seconds.
And just
And that's the Mars.
They go for the Mars. Like, instant Pangolier.
Instant.
They don't even think. They wanted it. Of course, the pressure of the Chen. If he goes to a tower, you want a bit of wave clear. BB didn't really have that hero to just stop snaking from running around the early tier 1, tier 2 towers. And GPK now on the mid lane from Pango, he can be that force to give time for BB to scale into the game.
This Pango pick gives me more comfort as well in their ability to play into this early zoo, this early group up with the Beastmaster, because the reliance on, okay, Magnus and Warlock are going to have big ultis and pop off, that's way too hard. Pango, on the other hand, he can always play into them. He's always going to give you that AoE damage and the means to like fight into the arena as well with the Rolling Thunder.
I like this quite a lot. It's quite good against lane, like in the lane against these 2, you're physical against the boars, you can kill them. Like you were saying, the team fight against the Chen, against the Snap, against the arena, I like it quite a lot. I would also say pure DK takes me back like 1 or 2 years. I've seen him own on this hero quite a bit. To me, this is the most even draft that I've seen from the 3 games.
And that says something, because if we're looking at Falcons draft, I feel like that is comfort all the way. This is a lineup that you could literally hand pick. If this was what Falcons got to this place to begin with, it would be these 5 heroes.
And this is what this series feels like it's becoming, right? After the type of games that we had in Game 1 and Game 2, I feel like we're expecting the Game 3 to be a lot closer for both teams to show that. And yeah, I think Falcons will be very happy, BB's going to be very happy. I'm interested to see, will Skidder and Maureen ever combo a Raw plus a Troll ultimate to kill off the Pango during the roll? There's a lot of cool little things that can be happening in this game.
I think Falcons got almost everything that they wanted, and I have a lot of faith in them when they're playing these heroes. For a BB team, what I like that they have is a safe lane that's not going to get completely destroyed like we've been seeing for a while. So maybe their entry point into the mid game will finally be comfortable for once, because DK should not die on that lane. I'm saying he should not. With that being said, I do think this Beastmaster plus 10, that's tough to play against.
Yeah, overall, I'm also leading. I would say Falcons, maybe slight favorites. I'm looking for BB team to maybe invade a little bit. You've got the Pango, play to the safe lane, make it happen, but I'm expecting a long, even, close, and hype game.
Oh, we want that. That's what we come here to see here in the Barclays Arena, and it is time for that third and deciding game. Which team will be top 3 guaranteed? Find out with Cap and SVG.
That's right, there is a podium finish on the line for one of these 2 teams, but there's something even greater on the line here, Avery, a chance at revenge.
Oh, that is sweet, especially on the TI main stage. There is no better feeling in Dota than knocking out your nemesis. Someone who's been trash talking you, someone that's been saying we're gonna do it to you all year at the biggest point of the season. This would be a very sweet victory for either team if you can take it here in the last game of the day. Give yourself some momentum going into the rest of this event. And boy, do we have another draft that is scary for a BB team to go up against, because you are looking at so much tempo coming out from Falcons, and you gave them a Chen, a hero they've just not lost on, a hero that gives you so much pace, so much scalability, and Snaking is a master on the hero. You gave them the Beastmaster with incredible scaling with double roars going into your hard carry potential. You counteract a little bit with scale from that Magnus and Warlock, but This could be another
Back
game
in
where
that
you just get run down on the towers. And
ဝါလို့ကျွန်တော်ဟိုဘက်ကကြာ
GPK
ချမ်းရယ်
try and
တို့
control
ဝါလို့
any of that, right? Like he has to bring some pace.
ပြီး
with
မှစ
this
တာကျွန်
angle
တော်
here.
မာ snap
What do you
fire
think of the swerve here? We're going to see the Dragonite
Great
moved over to the
pickup.
safe lane and
Yeah.
instead a different pickup for GPK. Did you like this adjustment? Because either Falcon saw it coming a mile away or they just didn't give a damn.
I think it's just pure saying I don't want to get punished on lane anymore.
Traffic out, back on rapid လို့ကြာဟိုအေးမှာမီးနေပြီကျွန်တော်
farm with Skeeter maybe getting run
Watchman
down.
နဲ့မီးနေ
Yeah,
ပြီ
maybe
ကျွန်
the
တော်
punish comes Skeeter's way
Public တော့မရလား
instead.
Public fire
Does not happen here for first blood, but perhaps laning phase will still provide that opportunity.
ဖက်ကွန်ရဲ့
Best chase
ရ
down
ပ်လေး
for
ကို
that
ပို့
first
တော့
blood
ကြာ
you've ever seen.
No, not great, not great.
I think this is
ဒီမှာ
really
ရှုံးသွားတဲ့အတင်ကျွန်
competent.
တော်ဟိုနဲ့တွေ့မှာပါ hero နဲ့
It's
နဲ့
really
တွေ့
hard to fix
ကျွန်တော်နိုင်သွားတဲ့အတင်ကတော့ဟို
gameplay
နဲ့
in a series compared to
division
draft.
နဲ့
And they're going to try and fix the lane
ကျွန်
issue
တော် Marine လေး
by
လည်းအလယ်
just
မှာ
building
သင်ပြီး
a
ကျွန်တော်
draft pick
GPK
and not lose that
အမှ
safe
she
lane.
bash
That was the
No,
biggest
she
pressure
bash
point
didn't
teams have
it? Yeah.
exploited.
Yeah.
That was the biggest pressure point in that game too. They got that last pick in the draft, so they were not counter cheese picked. That's a big component of it. But Warlock DK, I mean, if you can't farm the lane with Warlock DK, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, that's true. Now looking at it that way, they really did put a heavy emphasis in making sure that Pure actually got to play Dota in the
ကျွန်တော်
first
ဒီ
10
ဘက်က
minutes.
လည်း
He
ဘက်ဘုံ
will
တို့ဘက်က
be
လည်း
able
မ
to
တိုး
lane.
လို့
He
ပြော
will
တာ
probably have more CS at the 3-minute mark than he had at the 6 or 7 last game.
Yeah.
ပြောပါတော့
And this
DK
DK was a
DK
very
တိုင်မြင်နဲ့
successful
အဲ့ဟို
hero
က
for
နဲ့
them in that game one. It gives you a lot of scale. It can be a tough hero for
ပြောပါ
Falcons
pure
to
DK
just
DK ကို
power
ကျွန်တော်
through.
1000ထောက်
It
ပါ
has some extra sustain armor,
ဒီကောင်
scalability
DK
in the
အဲ့ဒါ
late game fight. I think it can be a
အဲ့ဒါ
pretty nice
Dragon
matchup
Found
against
နဲ့
the Mars as well.
ရအဝင်ရအတင်
Some
အဲ့
cool
လို
things
လုံးပါရ
going for the
ကျွန်တော် Mechanic
team in this
Empower
draft,
နဲ့
particularly if they can get the bonds and the empower online. I mean, their team fight is insane with Warlock Magnus as this game goes later, and they have a lot of BKB Pierce, which
ကောင်းတယ်ကျွန်တော်မှ
has
keep
been a
back
factor
နေ
in this series. That said, Falcons
Must
also
go back.
made sure they had some. They do not want to get BKB TP'd out ever again in their
Let's
lives, I
hit.
think.
let's hit အောင်ပြန်ကျွန်တော်အမှ right clear right
What
clear
about the Pango itself? A hero that has been nerfed so
ဒီမှာလည်း
many
စစ်ရ
times
ကတ်တိုးလေးလုံး
and yet
ကတ်တိုးလေး
still
crease
comes
ထားပြီ
back for TI. GPK, is he happy
She-
about
she
the,
won it,
the
or not,
matchup
yeah.
they ended up against? I mean, the
Don't want
Beastmaster
to
obviously
won
has a
it,
counter to
don't,
rolling
di ba
thunder
ka?
later on, but
Kado Milia, Kado Lilo,
phase-wise, it's actually pretty good for Pango,
ဒီ
right?
ဘက် snap fire ရလေးရတော့တစ်ချက်တော့ကြည့်နေ control
Especially if you can get some of those power
Follow
rooms.
me,
If you
yeah.
can ever invade and steal stacks away from the Beastmaster, you come online a little faster. The mid beast can be slow. If he loses lane, if he loses some stacks, he can fall into that I'm trying to farm for that big item for a long time. GPK can drive the pace this game. He's had a really good series so far. I think even in that puck game, he played it well. That was just a hopeless game too.
Yeah.
And here he's
Catalina
starting
now,
off really well in lane.
Catalina.
15 and 6, leading that CS chart. Really
Ah,
nice
dahil
start for him. And on the flip side, Skeeter up there.
အာ
in
တိုက်
that
လေ
goal.
ဆိုကျွန်တော်
Not having the best
ဒီဘက်က
early despite having the
အားလီ
chance.
ဆိုကျွန်တော်ဘက်ဘုံ
Having issue CS
နဲ့ကောင်းနေ
against
ဒါပေမဲ့
the super high base damage on
ဖ
this
ယ်ကွန်တော့
Magnus.
ပိုကြိုက်တယ်တင်းဖယ်ကွန်ပိုကြိုက်တယ်
Do you think that over time
Fair
the
go, fair
troll
go,
wins this
fair go,
because
fair go.
of the impact of the Chen? Like he's just going to start burning through all this mana.
စကီတာရဲ့ကျွန်တော်
Just going to
right
chip
clear
it
တွေကြောင်း
down,
နဲ့
right?
မွား
They've
တော့မွား
already used a lot of the resources on the troll, but he gets Lotus, so this is actually a big win. He got all CS under the tower into the Lotus. This will refill the mana pool for those axes. Continue winning this lane.
ကြောင်ရောအမှ
Trying
ဖက်တဲ့
to
ဝန်း
lay
နဲ့
the
တော့မွား
Magnus
နိုင်
down
တယ်ကြောင်
as
ကြီး
long as you can, because once that's up, these
The
heroes
mask
become way
boy.
harder to kick out a lane.
အမ်မာရဲ့ဘောကဖက်တဲ့ဝန်းနဲ့တော့ဟိုအပေါ်မှာလည်းမွားတယ်ကွာ
Bottom lane for the Mars as they've also taken some
Skater,
harassment.
you know,
These lanes are heating
right
up.
clear
I
တွေ
mean,
ကြားတယ်
there's going to be a kill here soon because nobody wants to abandon these
Yo,
lanes as
Mima
they
like
try and
Matou,
race towards the helms. Don't want to be giving
Mima,
up
yo,
free CS, and at the same
ဒီ
time, there's
ဘ
a
က်ဘုံ
lot
ဘက်က
of
တားတယ်လို့
harassment
ပြော
coming through.
23កောင်း
First blood is still on the table.
ခုနកောင်းတနိုင်ကြောင်း23កောင်း
Mana burn is just insane. I don't know what you're supposed to do against it if you're Miro. Just get wand charges and spam for some range creeps, but this lane is getting
မီရိုက
really
တော်တော်နားနေ
difficult.
ကြောင်းမီရို
Strong
ရှေ့တောင်
start,
တက်လို့မရ
impossible lane to win over the long run.
Oh, cookie back and the spear into the
Yo,
tower.
I'm a
Not
take
quite
on me,
good
yo,
enough. The gods rebuke
cookie,
to
I'm a
push
fat
back
boy.
under the tower.
Go to
And
my
even a
TV,
blood
yo,
grenade to
Gigi.
try and slow him down, but
Healing,
Mars
healing,
taking
yeah,
too
yeah.
much damage, and they didn't have the burst anyway. If it was just a little bit longer, they would have had the
ဖက်တဲ့ဝန်း
ping.
ရတော့နား
Maybe
အားလို့
that
ရောက်
would
နေ
have
နား
served
ချင်း
to
နေ
be
ရော
enough
နားချင်း
damage,
ကြိုက်
but
ခဲနေ
as
ရော
it stands, the sustain on this lane, it's pretty
ကျွန်
overwhelming.
မလက်စစ်လေးတော့လိုက်ရ
I mean,
ဟို
again, they
ရက်
built
လေး
this
တွေ
lane
လိုက်ရ
to say, I don't care what you do, I'm not going to have a bad lane.
ဒီကဘာမှ
This
ဘာမှ
DK
လည်း
will be
တေးရတော့
guaranteed a
မ
good
လွယ်
lane phase
ဘူး
here.
Okay team အမှ Dragon တေး
Bonds is super good against Mars.
prime ကိုမရလိုက်ဘူး
Just painful to fight through. So this will be
ကျွန်တော်
an
ဘတ်
even
ဘွေ
lane
လေးနဲ့တော့
phase
ထိန်း
for
တော့
once
ထိန်း
in
ထားရ
the
ဆိုမှ
series
ကျွန်တော်အမှ
by
အခွန်
Lord
shot
Sid.
ကျွန်တော်မသေးဘူးည
And if you're a BB fan, that's got to be a nice sight to see.
What are the adjustments that you think Falcons made in turn?
I mean, let's be real. This team doesn't really adjust, right? They just play
Channel
their game. They're
They're
going to pick their heroes.
Yeah.
They're going to do what they've done for 2 or 3 years now. You know what's coming.
Nah,
It's just a matter of can you out-execute them in the team fights? Can you outscore them? And can you survive the laning phase? I mean, there's not a single hero in this draft that anybody is surprised to see Falcons playing.
Yeah, I actually think the only, like, everybody is playing one of their quintessential heroes except for
Randy.
I don't really think of him as Snapfire. Obviously, he's played it a fair amount, but
he's super comfortable on any of these 4-position range playmakers.
I mean, if you're planning on picking Mars, obviously this is one of the best combos you can get your hands on, right? Cookie into a spear back like they tried earlier, but then obviously when you get 6, that is also a death trap. Get the arena with the kisses going. It's a team fight victory early on, guaranteed.
Nice bombardment threat against the Pangolier. If you go in and stun this Pangolier, suddenly these kisses start coming through. He might not have time to get the rolling. He might not have time to bail him out. I think that's the big threat it provides this game. A lot of extra magic damage to bring the Pangolier down early before they get too deep.
Once again, Amar, he has to spear defensively. As many bracers as he builds up, he simply does not have the HP regen to deal with all this harassment.
And first power rune goes GPK's way. Not the rune he wanted, but he'll snag it up here, and he's still top of that CS chart. Couple denies here.
Does feel like Falcons have given GPK a lot of runes in this series.
It's just not their biggest priority, right? They're more of a stack, farm-oriented team than a get early power runes and make aggressive plays with them team. It's a stylistic choice. It will give GPK a little more freedom, but then it's up to BB team to use that to build an advantage. Not always the easiest against this team that's very disciplined and doesn't provide a lot of openings. They maintain their resources well. They keep high HP pools. They TP and react very quickly. Something like going for a dive play under a tower to kill a troll with a power or something can easily go against you. Just want to get the diffusal up and start skirmishing. That's your game plan here.
Well, while BB team are clearing out some stacks, it leaves the troll alone in lane, which the Chen is happy with. Snake's just been able to play farming jungle.
Build your own Dominator.
That's true.
We're seeing the Chen and Enchantress come back for a reason. This creep shove has been super important. At least this is the honest one.
That is true. Now, Crit's play here. This seems a bit of a stretch. He can get the cookie onto the troll and he slows down the hoodwink and maybe.
I mean, this tells you how strong that safe lane is for BB. That Crit doesn't really exert any pressure down there with a Snapfire Mars. That he feels the better play is to go up top with this catapult and the Chen timing.
But GPK he has wanted to rotate up to this top lane already once, and now he finds some time to make that rotation come through. The cookie trying to push away from the Rolling Thunder. Skeeter tries to skirt the edges, gets the other side of the cliff. It gets him away from Rolling Thunder, but still, Mira will pursue. Blood grenade to try and slow down Mira. Got it. First one goes away.
A lot of resources to get it. They defend the push. Nice little defensive maneuver for them. You give up an amp damage to Maureen. That was kind of the downside of pushing GPK up there and forcing the reaction, but he's got to be happy about a troll kill this early on. That was an aggressive push from Falcons. Felt like they didn't think there was a lot of places to attack on the map. That was the best choice, but it still felt a little forced that early on.
Especially if Maureen isn't matching the rotation of the Pango. Maureen invested in taking the power rune, which he does get it. It's an amp damage, but at a certain cost.
I think there's definitely some mid players that might have tried to rotate up there and play for that, even with the Beast, but it's just not Falcon style with this hero on the mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that the point of the Beastmaster? You're just supposed to match the Pangolier every single time he tries to get a Rolling Thunder. You just meet it with the roar and
no, your job is farm Ags.
Oh,
I mean, your game does not begin until you have Ags on this hero. You need to prioritize it. You need to get that up as fast as possible. He's going to try and make a move with this amp.
Got the arena on pure. This is Managed to get the Dragon Tail.
Control နဲ့မှားတယ်
Still going to be that roar.
ညောင်အေးအဲ့မှာ
Follow-up
ပြီးအောင်
spear after that.
စိုက်သွားပြီးညောင်ကြီးသွားပြီးညောင်ပြူအားလေးပေးရမယ်နဲ့ညောင်
Or maybe never.
ပေးလိုက်ရပြီ
Just
ညောင်
holds on to it and lets
Why ain't it?
Marines
You know,
and
you are little
damage do
step
all the
like-
work.
The boars are super effective against these melee cores in the early game. Stick some boars on them, hold the stun, nowhere to go, nowhere to run. There's the defusal for GPK. Still having the best game on BB team. You'll have to make this item work.
Yeah, these are not heroes that have immense mana pools. All three of these cores on Falcons are dependent on mana pools because they have low costing spells. They do not like getting mana burned out whatsoever.
Downside of these, pseudo triple strength core lineups, your mana pools are pretty lackluster. Your spells can be equally as important. This Diffusal can absolutely do some heavy lifting here in the early game. Rune denied. DK will have to settle for some tower damage as Maureen pulls ahead off the stacks, man. This is classic. One nice gank with the power rune that he did get, and then straight in the jungle, clears through all the stacks before any contest comes through. He is giga farmed right now.
Crit bites out of smoke. Let's see what they do with that, because Maureen has headed back to base and he's going to heal up right as his TP comes up. He has another 12 seconds to roar. So I imagine you clear out this mid lane, and then you and the Snapfire go from there.
You have really good single target focus from a decent range. You don't want to go into
Nice cookie. Solo on save and an extra very nice.
Big plays coming out on this mid lane. That's going to finish his arcane boots. Nice little pickup in XP as well. Level 7 3/4 on this snap.
Yeah, massive level difference between the two.
I don't even know where he found all these levels, because he made the one move top, it didn't really work. He abandoned bottom early.
I think he probably shared some of the experience from the stacks. Yeah.
I mean, it's a huge level difference. These are the two playmakers for the squad. Almost level 8, and this Hoodwink is still level 4 for save. Incredibly sacrificial game from him.
It is also part of the MO of Falcons, because they have these strong laning cores that are rather tanky. They've been able to just leave them alone in lane. You know, say the Beastmaster, for example, doing those clears, the stacks, soaking up experience. Snake King will be run down here, Bushwhack tries to give him some extra armor, but it's not good enough. It does give the heads up to his carry, who is able to get away from all that nonsense.
Nice little connection for the Pangolier. I mean, you got to remember, this is an Empower lineup, and they have good Empower targets, not the pseudo-Empower ones.
They do, yeah.
This Pango Magnus duo is... combination OG love to run. Channel your inner tops in here on the main stage.
Marine, a regen rune. 1,000 gold left to that point booster. Meanwhile, Pure, he's having a great time.
Oh, this is the best early game he's had.
Seriously.
It's amazing for him. He's just going to pick up the farm pace from here. And the flip side of that is, I say this very rarely, but it is ATF coming out of lanes first.
Yeah.
Not something he likes to see, not his usual play style, so he'll have to make it up with some cheap utility. Blink. He can play the fights for his other two cores and catch up that way, but it's going to be slow from him. Smar's really got punished on that lane from the Warlock pick. That was its job. It did that, and now you get to hold on to its ult for the right fights. If
they really want that Pango. This is where that smoke was going to come into play. The arena into a GPK. Can't get ahead of it. It stops the Rolling Thunder, sure, but now you don't have a stun to stop it. The second go around, GPK rolls on out of there. So the arena kisses combo does not come out.
The cookie connection they were looking for. That's a tough kill regardless. You just don't know where that Warlock is. You can drop a rock, interrupt if they really needed it. ATF's game continues to be a little slow here.
Well, Skeeter, he's got to his Battle Fury, so he's feeling fine, and he will likely start pulling ahead of this Dragon Knight if they stay calm.
I mean, it is always scary to go even or lose early game slightly to the Magnus lineup.
Do you think that's scarier than going even against a Troll lineup?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Magnus at TI, man, this hero can do work. People play a little more scared. They get caught off a little more easily. How many games have we seen Magnus pull ahead, right? I don't even have to name the players that have won that Aegis on this hero. for everybody to know who I'm talking about.
I guess the way I see it, though, they are such a stun-oriented lineup. If this game goes late, I think the Troll is kind of unstoppable. Like, he's going to have that Battle Trance strong Dispel, right?
It's a strong Troll game. You are right. There's not a lot that prevents the Troll doing what he wants to do in the fight. It's just a matter of can you survive it and push through it with the scaling on your cores. I will say Skewer in that high ground defense. Like, what is there to stop the Skewer play? It's pretty much the Roar interrupt. You have to be really on point. There's no Rubik in this game. There's no one dying to just drop it.
Amari's immediately going to break the smoke. He's got a shield room too to help take the damage. Immediately uses the arena spear and with the kisses,
spear ကျွန်တော်မသေးသွားဘူးမပြတ်သွားဘူးကျွန်တော်မီးရောမပြတ်သွားဘူးကျွန်တော်အဲ့ဒါကြီးတော်တော်လေးကောင်းသွားတယ်ကျွန်တော်နောက်မှာဝင်ပြီးကျွန်တော် GPK rolling တန်းတာကျွန်တော်ဖတ်တဲ့ပုံကျွန်တော်ဟိုတော့မပေးရသေးဘူးကျွန်တော်
especially with the extra life on Maureen.
ခေတော့တော့မပေးရသေးဘူးကျွန်တော်
fighting into this Beastmaster with the Ags. That means GPK. He's going to roll on out. They've already lost one hero and they've given up the Roshan. These were heavy losses to BB team. They cannot afford for GPK's game to slow down much more.
That could have been an amazing fight for them. 4-man bonds off that flank in the river, but the Roar comes out of the Pangolier, stops all the damage in its tracks. The counter is working for Falcons right now, and Maureen, he just had such a fast game. You're able to push
the Troll. He already uses
the
plus he to take the Aegis. A cookie saves him.
Close to ticking out there, 70 HP. Maureen looking for his own maneuver back here. But no Roar available. Pretty limited catch potential. Get the D-ward around the pit as well. Very successful objective-based move for Falcons. They're not completely snowballing this game. Like you saw previously, you still got to get this tier 1 bottom. I can't believe this tower's still up, actually. I mean, that shows how poor of a laning phase ATF had. This tower is normally just gone by default. You have to use this Aegis to clear out the junk down here.
Yeah, Miro's, or excuse me, Pure has been both on the tower and farming those ancients, but move to the other side of the map. Falcons will finally take the safe lane tower. They also took mid tower at the same time, thanks to the Chen. I mean, the Chen's still going to be impactful. He's got the drones. Once you get the mech, it's going to be a lot of early game. BB team, they're going to be reliant on Miro to separate the big team fight that Falcons has. He needs his Blink Dagger badly.
Especially if the towers start getting sieged. That's your best defense mechanism in combination with the Pango Warlock team fight. Be very interesting to see when Falcons decide to group up this game. Grouping up can cost you a lot if that fight goes wrong. You almost rather just split the map, but then you're splitting the map against the Empower farmers, which feels a little bad in itself. You really have to make these moves count when you combine the Beastmaster and the Mars here. Try and take away BB's space. Like, that's the biggest factor right now. If you can take games away from their Empower farmers.
The arena must be
Pure doesn't stand a chance. Still though, BB team, if they could get some sort of skewer RP, they have a chance to punish, but no. The rolling thunder blink it out. That was an arcane rune use too, so the arena is not going to be on cooldown for long.
GPK just messed up the roll in
there.
Your DK's dead no matter what. There's not a lineup that really wants to react to Falcons jumping one of your big damage dealers. You have the blink on the Magnus, so you have a little turnaround potential, but that's the strength of the Xyzes in this early game. Once that hero's pinned, once he's stunned, he's pretty much dead.
Yeah, but
even if you go in and counter-initiate, the damage is going to be done.
Lord Miro. He could have gone for that Snapfire, opted against it.
This lineup's picking up steam. This is where Chen starts to feel really scary.
They do finally pull the trigger on that one. I'm sure Crit realizes there's some sort of lane is already pinging out.
Get the job done. There is an RP connection. Slow this pace down, take at least one of these heroes off the map.
I think there is a lot of weight here on Miro's shoulders. He's going to continue to find pickoffs like that. He's already struck first. Got the pin right next to Skeeter. You could not ask for a better setup if you're the carry troll.
I intercepted that move perfectly. I think they were heading towards Pure, but They'll take the Magnus for
ဒီ
sure.
က Mars ကအောင်
ATF, he's not done.
cost review ကြောင့် SPI နဲ့ဝင်ပြေးသွားသေးတယ်ပြူအောင်ကန်ကောင်းလို့
There was no upside to that. He just wanted to taunt Pure.
I mean, the upside is you
ဟိုက
said
အာမ draw ဖြစ်နေတာကြောင့်အာမ
they start thinking they have vision there.
The real vision is in the
ထက်တက်လာရင်အာမ Spear တော်သေးလို့ Spear လေးနည်းလေးလွဲသွားလို့
Stops Amari, doesn't
ပြူအောင်
actually
ဘော
hit
ကတော့
the
ရောင်မ
spear
တွေးရ
into
စရာ
the
တော်သေးလို့
trees.
ကြောင့် Arena
But they do have good control of the area of
Arena
Tower's
မရှိနေ
Fall.
ကန်ကောင်းက
This is how you're going to build a lead. Take the camps away from BB's cores. There's a little rat action happening off the Helmet Dominator from the Magnus, but that's
မီရို
about
က
it.
တိုးလေးတော့လုတ်ပေးနေတယ်
They cannot afford to lose too many of these ancient
ကျွန်
spawns
တော် Dominator ရဲ့အကောင်
before you just have to take the fight straight up. That's what Falcons want.
yeah,
Fighting
yeah,
into the Chen, into the BKB troll. This Chen is going to give you a lot of auras to play with. It's going to buff up the EHP across the board.
အဲဒီကြောင့် Marine ကြောင့် Spat Hour
Easy torment.
Spat Hour ပါလာ
And Crit, who already
Babon
bought
ကတော့
out
အ
his
ချိန်နဲ့တိတ်မ
shard,
ကောင်း
so
တော့
the
ဘူး
core
က
had an opportunity to get it. And
မင်း20ကျော်လာခြင်း Babon ကလုံးဝအမှန် DK time မှာလိုက်ချရမှာဗျာ DK time မှာမချနိုင်ဖြစ်သွား DK နဲ့အဲ့
We'll see if he can hit the two-man spear.
Absolutely can find some two-man spears in this game. I mean, this Pango is a great target. No BKB. The Magnus.
ဟောလေကင်းကမလွယ်တော့ဘူး Babon တော့လေကင်းဘယ်လုံးမှမလွယ်တော့
Especially if you can
ဟိုက
catch
throw
some of
တော့
these
အမှ
supports in the arena.
Skater အကုန်ရိုက်ချိုးတော့
All
မှာ
right, BB team feels like it's about time for them to strike back. Pure has his BKB. So he could deal with the overwhelming damage that Falcons is throwing his way, as long as he doesn't get chain
ပြူက
stunned.
slow ထားတဲ့ team ပဲပြောပေမဲ့ကျွန်တော်နောက်မှာ PI နဲ့ရောက်ရင် arena မှာတကောင်ပျောက်ပဲလုံး model kiss နဲ့တယ်ကျွန်တော်ပြူလေးပါရမလားကျွန်တော်ပြူလေးပါရမလားကျွန်တော် square နဲ့ဝင်ခေါ်သွားတယ်ဆိုအမှ robust ကျွန်တော်အမှ she crush တွေကြားမှာကျွန်တော် DK ကတော့ right click ထောက်ပြန်ပြစ်နေတယ်ကျွန်တော် Skater တော့အဲကိုမင်းနေတာကျွန်တော်ပြူကပြန်ပြစ်နေဆို damage ကမလောက်နေတော့ကျွန်တော် Skater ရဲ့ရိုက်ချက်တွေကြားထဲမှာကျွန်တော်မရတော့ဘူး
Him to stand tall. Malrine gets through that BKB with a primal roar.
ကျွန်တော်မရတော့ဒီဘက်ဘုံကတော့တော်ကျွန်တော် lower ဆင်းရဖို့များတော့တေချာဝိုက်ဒီပုံစံတိုင်းဆို
That's the downside of using it on one hero.
Babon lower ဆင်းရ
Falcons
ဆင်းရဖို့
gonna
များ
free
ဝိုက်
up the fight for the other two. You just go in, pick your mark, find
ဒီ
the
က
pick
ဘာမှ
on this
လောက်ကွက်
Dragon
ကို
Knight.
မရှိတော့
First
ခုနက
BKB
ပွဲလဲ
usage
animate
not
AN နဲ့
getting a positive result for Pure here.
ဒီပွဲလဲပြူသွားတဲ့အတိုင်းပဲ
Starting to lose some map control with this Empower lineup as Falcons build a substantial lead. And again, a lot of it's on the supports here. Just so much utility coming in to back up this front line. This is exactly how they like to play and build an advantage. You have to either match it or find ways to kill their supports first. And so far, it's just been the other way around. It's ATF fighting your back line, taking your control out of the fight.
DK time မှာဝင်လို့ရမှာဗျ DK time မှာဝင်မလို့တော့ဘူး
I don't think GPK can do it alone.
တယောက်
I
စီ
don't
တယောက်
think
စီ
this
မှောင်ရ
Pango
င်းမှောင်ရ
can
င်း
go
နဲ့
in,
ပဲအဲ့လို
find
ပဲ
the Chen and just bring him down 100 to 0.
ဟိုက
in a
ပဲကွန်ရဲ့အ
timely
ကွက်နဲ့
manner.
ဝင်မှာ
Especially against the Roar. Maybe later on you have some Lincolns, some nonsense like that. It's a different story. But right now, this beast protects the backline, and the backline protects the front line. Formation from Falcons is hard to break.
Well, it looks like BB team is going to just have to play defense for the foreseeable future, which is fine. I mean, they've shown multiple times on both the road to TI and here on the main stage itself that they are more than capable of making comebacks.
It's only so much defense you could play, though. I mean, this series has felt like 3 games of defense.
It's true.
မီရိုလေးကတော့ try တော့ try ပေးနေတယ်။အဲ့မီရိုတွေအနေများလိုက်တာရောင်မီရိုနဲ့ပန်းလိုက်တော့
You know, it fits the setup of the hero. This hero is very good at playing a defensive style. Gives you scale confidence, gives you high ground defense potential, but that also means potentially giving up a lot of Roshan's.
Yes, and Falcons did set the pace very early on. They took a super fast Roshan.
Already up.
Radiant side, 23 minutes, second Rosh.
This is why you take that early. So BB are just going to turtle. If they're going to play a strong defensive game, you just take the biggest objectives away from them and you accelerate out of control. Here's a smoke designed to get that pick off into that play. Find GPK here.
The scan behind the tower doesn't find GPK. Falcons still go looking anyway.
Surprised they didn't jump the pace there.
Don't find him there. Now another ward placed behind the tier 2 to see if he'll poke his head out in the mid lane. Somehow GPK is dodging all of these plans from Falcons.
He has not died in this game yet. There's no plans. Could just go straight. You don't need a kill to force this objective. You have BKB on the Mars. Amar has recovered really nicely in this game.
But one
Just
this
gives you the
guy
confidence to just force the
ပဲ
play.
တဲ့မှောက်တာနဲ့တော့သွားပြီ
Like
လုံးဝ
the BB contest, you would have
No,
to
Lenya
get this
Michi out.
Magnus somewhere close in the vicinity and find a big RP. I mean, your
Well,
lineup
Hero
is great
drag up,
around
Loma
the
may
pit.
out,
There's
yeah.
no denying that. It's very tempting to contest this.
Rainbow TPs, all the BB team. They're going to come down here. The Roshan roars.
Okay, no,
and
Roshan
Falcons will
by the
back
time,
away.
yeah.
After the roar, they smoke up. They want to get that initiation.
Well, you know what,
first.
DK,
It's a
yeah.
break on Malrine.
Dragon Phong
GPK
Song,
with his
yeah.
fresh blink
Hero,
dagger.
say
He
second.
blinks backwards, trying to
Yo,
do
I'm a
the but Amar
Reno,
is
all
there.
my
No,
robust.
interrupted. The
Yo, I'm
roll
a bit
goes
there,
out, and GPK
Natural.
has a chance. Can he get off the rolling thunder? Can he
Yo,
roll
what draw
away?
nine me, GBK draw nine. I'm a draw all yak quay with John. Not going to know if you are, but I'm a machine.
What can Pure do?
Another arena. Amar. He's
Arena
trying to
not
protect
not cool name. Yeah,
against the right
that
clip.
one
Skeeter
dog
dodges away from
must
it
be
with the spear.
yo.
Now the sun is there.
Yo, what the
They can
gong
finish
mà
him off
tùy quá,
with
yo,
these
ý.
Falcons
Phê con bắt
away
gặp gong
from the
mà
big
mà tùy quá.
Dragonite beautifully.
You got damn it,
Thanks
lỗ
to in
mà
part
lỗ mà
Amar's
lâu.
initiation, the follow up there from Malrine, there was just
Chỉ có lấy
not
bà đâu
much
quá.
GPK could do.
Rolled right into the hands of Skeeter. That's a death sentence. This troll during BKB is so good against your lineup right now. And he has the sustain to back him up. You're just never going to burst him down. You
Ủa
have to
rồi,
be able to
dạ
win
quay
that
lại.
long fight.
Cái đấy
And
dạ
that
quay
means
lại.
landing an
Nhưng mà
RP on
không.
multiple heroes. That
Ủa mà
spear
chịu.
just forced so much chaos out of this BB team.
No, mà
lineup.
Arena.
Miro feels like he has to throw it out based on the
Robust,
troll running in.
robust lâu đài này này,
It's just
không
not
mà.
the best
Đâu có lâu.
target you want because he's always going to
Tất
get
tất
spells
đâu có về
off
chèn
you.
rồi.
Yeah, GPK, I mean, what beautiful reaction to get the roll up there in the first place, but it's just.
Oh, mà Arena
he's
mà
stuck in
nó
a
được
situation,
nó
he's countered by too many heroes. There's two different BKB piercing disables that are going to go
You
through
are mà
that
lâu mà
rolling
mình tiền
thunder.
nhau, why me? Này nhắc cái này
There's no
đại.
way to take that fight when Amar gets the jump. Like, that's what these fights are coming down to. You have to either land a massive RP or get the jump of your own, and Falcons are always one step ahead of you. They're playing really well right now, really
À mà
fast.
cái lâu nhỉ.
A second Aegis, and this time a banner, potentially for a high ground push, but as you said, BB team, you're going to be pushing into
Yo, bé bố mà không bắt cầu nhiều.
Magnus.
Chứ mày damn it, lâu mà
Look at
xí
the
rồi.
auras and the utility they're getting up right now.
DK mà lấy mấy xí rồi. DK chèn chứ mày rồi nó mẹ rồi. Wow. Pro nè, lâu mà xí rồi yang.
Solar Crest plus, well, Blink Dagger flying in for crit.
Get a little ice armor in there, plus
all the creep auras.
Oh my god.
if you can
Primary
get
roll.
the pick off
Đi vào.
of the Magnus,
Brightly.
if you
Đa
could
bé.
just get
Primary roll
a
rồi.
free high ground
Brightly này về dài
push,
quá.
what a world it would be for Falcons. Malrine finds that opening. Will Falcons push it?
This is escalating too fast for the pace that BB want right now. And the push is
mà gạt lên
coming.
tay.
Falcons are not going to wait.
Đi
They are
cái
not going to extend
rồi
this
con phong này
game.
rồi lấy đồ chi rồi chi này rồi.
They're going to make you find an
À
opening.
không sure.
23 seconds left.
Just harassing Pure.
Yep. Seeing if he can get a BKB out of Pure, seeing if he could slow him down. But with the banner and another
Dạ,
20
để về
seconds,
dài
I mean,
này.
the troll is just
Ý chứ lời
demolishing
chi rồi
buildings.
để về
They're
dài
trying to slow
này.
him down as best they can.
Nó chef chuột à. Về hoài, chef chuột à, về hoài.
Behind him right now.
Để ý
No
chuột
chance
mà
without
gạt
the
lên.
Magnus. Miro backup still doesn't have BKB though.
Nhà nó po hoài.
So
Có
all
vẻ
he
là
can do
hoài.
is give up a rack.
Davis scan on Pure.
Còn mi bị thế này mà.
BKB does not guarantee
Mà quá
safety.
H primary
It's gonna
roll.
be roared
Nó
up.
toa vì
Now
piu
he's
a
gonna
bộ
be
à.
fine.
Alo đi tì đã rồi.
He's
Piu a bộ à. Alo đi tì à. Nó mà E nó lại ở đây. E nó lại alo gì. Con này gì alo tiền là khôi
Falcons knew
pin tu bé tì à.
exactly the kind of player Pure is. He's going to try
Mà
and
đôi
push
đâu,
his limits,
nó lấy chắc là
especially
đâu à,
when
họ
he's
không
behind
hiểu
in the
vậy.
game. He likes to play on the enemy side of the map. He likes to cut waves. And Falcons knew after he took that mid tower, he was not going to back up. He was going to keep sticking around, trying to play greedy, trying to play for more farm. And that will be his undoing, at least on that life. Still, BB team, they have a chance. We haven't seen them in a 5-man high ground defense, but we may never see that happen if they
Hai con này
continue
mà
to
mày
get
nhào.
picked
À mà
off.
đôi lâu độ.
Losing wisdom trying to the Chen right now.
Ôi dạ, ta phát ra lùi.
Do finish up the BKB on the
Yeah.
Magnus. That's your hope for this next fight. All eyes on Miro. He can try and land a big ultimate.
Cái đi mà bé bố mà gặp mau đã. Mà tê tê li này. Save rồi này, mau mau quá.
Such a net worth swing off of this one objective. Falcons just splitting the map.
Không phải Marine ảo
Scale
đủ.
up, and this is why this is why I would never want to play against Beast
À cái rồi
in
này
this meta.
À cái rồi mà bà.
The hero does a lot in the early game, he does a lot in the mid game, he does a lot around the objectives, and then his scale is just insane. You go in, you get to this late game, you can potentially get double roar up with a refresher. You just put both into the enemy carry. You're just going to be sitting there for almost 10 seconds.
Yeah, I feel like this hero has evolved.
You are fan of fan
it was an aura and a zoo hero, right? And then maybe this BKB piercing disable is going to be good. But now it's just flat out a damage dealer. It's just carries through team fights by itself. And as you go late, it's still helping out this troll. This attack speed buff is allowing the troll to get to those max fervor stacks nice and quick. We're going to see that happen again. As he assaults tier 3 with 70 seconds left on the Aegis.
That's the crazy part. You still have a minute.
Forever.
Miro, he's got to do something wonderful here. It may have to be more than just getting a skewer back on the troll. He's going to start with the skewer back there. For Skeeter. GPK rolls through him.
Two-man Reno mà. Tao vào bây giờ vậy nhở. Đám em mà lao đổ cho DK bá lâu mỏng gì. Anh nagai giờ bá lâu mỏng nhở. Nagai giờ bá mà lâu luôn mẹ rồi. Nagai giờ cũng chèn. Nagai giờ bán này bao này gì đâu. Mà chiều ok amateur chứ. Cái này piano bad hay rồi mày nhở. Bắt đề bóng này rồi này nó.
That was a big bounce that landed on a lot of heroes. They are respecting what that spell can do right now.
Another one goes out. This time catching save. Pushing back, perhaps out of danger from Skeeter, but the buildings, there is no retreat for them.
Magnus is back, still has BKB and RP available.
But they can't get there in time. Falcons have already taken the objectives and backed away.
Just so clean. Didn't even end up using that pressure. Still have troll BKB. So much in the tank.
Two lanes of barracks down by 30 minutes. BB team, they've had some steep hills to climb before. This one's beginning to look like a cliff. Playing up on the high ground, playing up in the triangle, hoping that Falcons will give them an opportunity to pick off, or maybe even an easy team fight. But Falcons will just play to their side of the map. Play for that overwhelming advantage that they have played to so many times in the past. This has been Falcons' MO from this year to the last, where when they get an advantage, they are willing to slow down the game and just build that advantage more and more and more. Taking more Tormentors, taking more Roshans, farming more neutrals until a 20k gold lead becomes a 40k gold lead.
Just get the refresher on the beast. That's going to be all you need. I think the one hope for BB team is the DPS that you're going to put and powered. If Daedalus up, there's a real chance that you can just chunk these heroes down with a power on top of the burst damage. But if you have a refresher Beastmaster with no defensive capability against that, I don't know how you stand in that fight and output that DPS when there's just so much stun to disable facing you. Let's jump this Beastmaster first. I mean, that is the dream. And that is something the Falcons should never let happen. It should always be the Mars or the Troll as that point of contact. Still is getting to this Daedalus. I mean, that is going to be your best item to try and turn this game around as Falcons continue to just progress this lead near 30,000 gold lead. And that refresher on the Beastmaster already.
His boots puts him in the backpack. He's got a haste rune in his bottle. They're going after Pure. Oh, yeah. From the kisses, but it will not save you from this troll.
I feel like he could have buyback potential.
Looking for that second pick off. They bypass the lane ward. Look to get a ward inside the base. Look
Arena mà but
the arena GPK does what he can. He takes out the to the high ground.
It's fine for GPK to even this out. That was a sick high ground ward. If that spear lands, might just be the game. Fight gets stalled, Falcons get repelled here.
And I don't think Falcons, knowing them, playing into the high ground in the first place when Roshan is about to be
ဟိုဘက်
up.
လည်းကယ်ရီမရှိသလို
Don't
ကြီးစော
do
နေ
that
ရ
too
လို့ဖြစ်နေ
often. I feel like it
ဟို
would
ကျူ
take
ဟာ
very
ဘလို့
little.
မှ
They
က
were
ယ်ရီ
always
လို့
going
မ
to
ရ
back up at some point in time to make sure they secure Roshan. The last thing you want to do is throw on the high ground and give BB team the opportunity at a comeback.
Especially when you control so much of the map and you know they have to contest this objective. This is
Okay,
third Roche at
မောကန်နေတော့
30
သွား
minutes.
တော့ဆိုင်အောင်မယ်
Walking into landmine. There is so many wards.
အခုမှလို့တော့
around
မ
this
ရတော့
jungle
တော့
area.
အခုဆိုင်နေကောင်းနေ
Chen
မှောက်မှာ
has
ပဲ
to fight,
ဗျာ
though. If you take it right now,
Mà
none of
khô
those
quá
auras.
Miro, ooh, his smoke is the one to break. The one
ညောင်မိုင်ကွာတော့ကတ်တိုးလေးတော့မြင်နေအမောင်ကတ်တိုးလေးမြင်နေအမောင်လည်းတိတော့တိ
The opportunity of surprise is gone. They're going to
ဟော
have to
ပြီး
play
မှ
for
တိုင်ဟို
Roshan on the other side.
ဝါ
of
က
the
လေးတွေ
map.
မြင်နေရ
Fortunately, there is that. It will kind of reset. They can play on their outpost. Don't think they're going to have too many buybacks to work with, though.
You also
They've
got to
got
keep
three.
in mind, both side lanes have been taken here. It's a lot of map pressure going into the base.
Certainly.
Somebody has to show, and if somebody has to show, that is a gank opportunity.
Yeah,
Falcons
that
can
Roshan
just be ultra
got it.
patient here.
Maybe Miro
တက်
can
လို့ချင်
get two Zags,
ယူပြီးရတယ်
though.
အဲမှာပြီညော
If Falcons are patient enough.
ပြီးဒီဘက်တစ်လောက်ပဲ
They see heroes in BB's base,
Piên
they're
nào,
going to
piên.
threaten the Roche, they're going to make you come out of base to fight them, and that's exactly what they want right
တစ်ဖက်
now.
သက်ကြီးဗျာတစ်ဖက်သက်ကြီးကြည့်နေရတယ်
And Pure, as always, off to some adventure on the enemy side of the map.
He just wants his Daedalus. You get that, you have a chance. It's not a good one, but you at least have some damage to play with.
Katomi playing the drums for the crowd. Malrine has drums of his own. Four-man smoke up from Falcons. Surprising that Amar is
ပြီးတော့အ
not
ပေါ်မှာကတ်တိုး
belonging
လေး
in
တော့သွား
that
တော့ဖမ်း
smoke.
တော့ဖမ်းနေသေးတယ်
Another arcane rune.
Yeah, this is like a defensive smoke. You're just waiting if they come into you with this Roche sitting up right now. If BB are not contesting it, they don't contest it,
ညော
just
တက်
go
တက်
in
လို့
with
ရှန်
it.
တော့ယူနေဟိုက
No reason
ဘယ်
to
ကောင်
make
က
this
တက်
game
လို့ရှန်နေ
complicated right
ညော
now.
ဘယ်ပုံဘက်ကဘာလို့မညောဆိုင်မှာလားဆိုင်ရင်လည်းမရအောင်ဆိုင်ရင်လည်းရှုံးမှာ
Downside for Falcons is they're so farmed, they
Oh,
already
mà
have
lỡ,
the
đám mày mà
refresher,
lau
so
rồi.
all of this will likely just go to Skeeter here.
တက်လို့ရှန်လည်းပေးရမှာပဲညောပေးလိုက်ရပြီညော
And it will.
ကျွန်တော် refresher ရှက်ပါလာပြီ
This is not
အဲ့ရဘလို့မှ
a five-man
နိုင်မှာမဟုတ်
squad
တော့
that is
ဘလို့
pushing
မှ
into
တာ
you.
မှာ
The
မဟုတ်တော့
number of refreshers they have. There's so many heroes here. BB team are trying to play on their high ground ward. Falcons know all
ဘယ်မို့
about
rally
it.
နဲ့
They pinged it earlier.
ကတ်တိုးလေးပြစ်တယ်ဆိုရင်လည်းလုံးဝမနေတော့တာ
They
ဟိုက
want this outpost first. Before they walk into this vision, they want to make sure they have the
ကျွန်တော်အမှ
opportunity.
mask ဝင်လာပြီကျွန်
Not good.
တော် Dragon Tail လေးနဲ့တော့ထိန်းထားပေးတယ်ဆိုပေမဲ့ကျွန်တော် DK ပြစ်တော့ပြစ်နေ right click တွေကြားမှာ damage မလောက်နေဘူးကျွန်တော် pure ကပျောက်တော့မယ် DK ကပျောက်တော့မယ် rolling တန်းတာအမှကျွန်တော် skater ကိုလုပ်တယ်ဆိုရင်ကျွန်တော် skater မသေးသေးဘူးကျွန်တော်အမှထပ်ပြီးတော့ကျွန်တော် arena မှာ God Reaper ကျွန်တော် spear ကောင်းလိုက်တာကွာရောင်ရင်မရတော့ဘူးဗျာ GG ပါကျွန်တော် GG ပြီးသွားပြီကျွန်တော်ဂင်းရကဲဘလို့ pure က DK ကလုံးဘာ damage မှမရှိနေတော့ Okay ကျွန်တော်ပြီးသွားပြီကျွန်တော် BB ကတော့ lower ဆင်းသွားပြီ
This team
Claro,
is
pero con él-
real scary to go up against right now.
Y
They have
Bashen
cheese
Drip,
picks,
¿no?
they have their strats, they have an incredible laning phase. They can play slow,
Yo,
but they
hero
can
nene,
also
mà nãy giờ-
play
mà nãy giờ
fast.
bôi
They
này, bôi
put
chỉ
that
còn
on
này, mà nãy giờ
display
bôi
in
này.
this series. You give them the heroes
Yo,
like
ni cái mà nãy
or
HP
the
này.
Beastmaster, they will run tempo on you.
Good.
They will go high ground early. This is kind of a myth that this team will always just wait for that 60 minutes.
Okay, nhóm PY, nhóm nãy giờ mà-
dependent on how well
Nãy giờ
that
bôi
early
chỉ bôi
game
con
goes
gì,
and
nhóm
make
ni cái mà
them
bôi
such
chỉ à,
strong
ni cái mà.
earlys in this series.
Yo, ni cái mà nãy
How does
HP
BB want a
này,
single
nhóm ám
lane
đi
phase
được.
outside of maybe this game
Ám
three,
đi
you
được,
could
nó
argue
đã xem
is a
về tên này
draw,
còn là-
but that's because they had to draft to compensate for
Yes.
that.
Dạy
And that
cam là
has its
cô
downsides,
béo
right? This
cháu
Warlock
dây đặt
did
cam
work
mà
in the
nhóm
lane
sẽ
phase,
chỉ ảm nhóm.
but it's also a very slow hero, and it really suffered against this game pace that Falcons set.
Absolutely, especially if Miro, like, they put a lot of pressure on him because they
Bôi
drafted
giờ,
so
nó phát tài gì,
defensively on
bôi
the
giờ, bà
lane
bố-
phase
bà bố
that
cho cả.
Miro had to give them all of their early
Đá
to
mấy
mid-game
cú mới chỉ
action,
đâu
all
mà,
their
bà để
initiation
tài mua.
there, and he did not,
Ủa,
he was
throw
not
alo
able to
vậy,
get to
dạ, con
that
nó
fast
vậy quay
blue
qua.
dagger, and even then, when he found the openings, they
Skida,
were
skida,
not big
skida vậy quay qua.
consequential ones, right? The pick off on the hoodwink, that was the first reveal of the blink dagger, it's not going to get you going.
Nè, địa bà
Just
nó
an
chết toán này.
uncomfortable series for BB team. I think we all
Absolutely.
felt it watching this. there was probably some more potential in there, but they just
အားလုံးပဲပြီးပါပြီကျွန်တော်လာကြည့်ပြီးကျေးဇူးအများကြီးပါအကုန်
maybe
လုံး
that one fight with
ကျွန်တော်မနေ့ပြန်လည်းကျွန်တော်မီးလာလို့ရှိရင်ကျွန်တော်
that was the only moment in the series where it felt like they were in control. It was Falcons.
ဒီကနေကမာပွဲကြည့်အောင်
It
နေကမာ
was
ပွဲ
indeed,
နေ
and
ကမာ
led
နဲ့
by their carry Skater, who is on the stage, ready for an interview.
Thank you, Catman SBG.
Okay, ကျွန်တော်2 နာရီလေးထိုးပြီးတော့ okay
Skater,
ကျွန်တော်
tell me
ကုန်သွား
the
ပြီ
story of
ဒီ
this
လာမယ်
series versus BB.
I mean, we had gameplay problems in game one. Fell behind a little bit, made some crucial mistakes, but I'm just very happy we pulled through and we took it to game 3 because all the other series were 2-0. So I'm very happy for that.
Yeah, I think the crowd's happy for that one as well. Finally, a 3-game series here. That is what they wanted. What was the conversation like after that game one? A bit of a surprising comeback, maybe. How did you recover?
Our wonderful coach, AOI 2000, had a speech ready. He kind of fixed what we lacked in game one, and it was easy afterwards.
All right, can you give us a bit of insight as to what exactly he said? Well, what exactly did he say in that inspirational moment?
Stop being bad.
Very inspirational, Skater. Thank you very much. There was a lot of old chat in that game as well. Can you share, is that a friendly rivalry you have with BB? Is there a little bit of spice there? Where do you sit with those guys?
I think it's friendly, but you gotta ask Maureen. I was not really involved at all.
Okay, you're going to stay a side guy, right?
Yeah, I'm too mature for that.
Too mature. Well, talking about mature, actually, I believe it is your birthday today. So happy birthday. I believe you're. Do you want me to say?
What's
the best birthday present you've been given today?
I mean, top 3 is up there for sure, so I'm very happy.
I can imagine. So, well, you already know who you're playing against in those upper bracket finals. What do you think P-Vision are going to be bringing against you tomorrow?
Just a bunch of dominators, I guess.
And do you have a plan for that?
Nope.
All right, sweet, excellent. Sounds like you're going in with a great mentality. Well, Skater, congratulations on making it to top 3 here.
Let's hear it
for Falcons.
Congratulations indeed, and that also means that they have hereby topped their record from previous international where they
Okay, John, the name what?
Now already guaranteed. Very much open to go further there as well. We're gonna break down the game because kind of thought that we were gonna have a little bit more back and forth.
No, we really didn't get that. It looked like Falcons, they got everything what they wanted from the draft. The early game movement, whereas BB team falling flat, pure ending the game, 0-7, a lot of Falcons. They just play so well with their types of heroes, and maybe it's just you need to come into TI not being the favorite to like feel more loose.
They're just so clean with it. Like you see that combo there, you know, the arena into the murderous kisses. They're just so good at finding the wherever they can, getting the good initiation. The second Maureen sees a hero on a ward on the other side of the map, he'll TP bottom. The DK get a kill, and they finally hit their stride this year at
when they're able to say, can we make it? Every player can say yes. That's when they're line up. If Troll wants to make a move, they snap the Chen, they'll follow him, they'll back him up. If Amar wants to make a move, snaps there, or the Beast is there. Like every single combination of these 5 heroes, no matter which has a purpose on the map.
In like all of their strategies. 1+1 kill threat here. One guy, you have a good lane, you can go through the gate to the other person, and you can see, right? You were saying they've beat their last year's record already of TI placement. Like top 3 already secured. Yeah, that is some good stuff.
I mean, that's very impressive, right? For obviously, you know, to bring the players together, right? As a world star wrestler, first year, second year, already kind of. Tomorrow, but yeah. It would be after a result like this and after a showing that they had.
Yeah, we should also mention that if we're looking at Falcons, there's one man that was a little bit of a step ahead of the rest. Here. I mean, obviously, it was a great Mars game, and he did pick the hero for himself almost at the very end there. So that comes with extra pressure, and sometimes players they don't deliver the same kind of performance with that extra pressure, but he seems to be doing that.
Yeah, he really did. And I mean, like, this is his hero. This is the one you don't go away. It was banned in that game too. In this game 3, he just took the opportunity to have it for himself, and he delivered. Like, he was just doing the blind blinks into the spear backs. He was arenaing to protect the Roshan even before the Roshan was dead. He just does everything so well. And I think it's also the crit factor. Like, crit is always playing a hero that combos with whatever hero that Amar wants to play. And because of that, they're always going to look good. Like, this is one of the best heroes to enable Crit's hero pool as well.
Yeah, and if we're looking at Crit's hero pool, we gotta also talk about Snaking. When we're talking about both of these players and both of their heroes, they had quite the game team.
Yeah, I just wanted to look at both of the supports together at the same time. If you look at the 23-minute mark, you got Snapfire with a shard with the Solar Crest, right? So you can cookie heal, cookie displace. You've got the Solar Crest for physical barrier. Then on Snaking, you then have his third spell. As well, Cobalt. Having to follow me with highlighting them. If these two heroes are in the same place, killing a core,
it makes it so easy for you like to go in, right? There's even like lotuses on it. So if you're the Mars, you have your Snapfire backing up. Your troll with these things that he is showing. How do you even want to try to kill Skeeter? Like, sure, you go in with your DK. He's not gonna get bursted. He presses his ult. All right, see you later.
Yeah, and how often did we see Troll get skewered back? It happened a couple of times that game, but that was a disaster. They couldn't burst Troll on the skewer back or the RP. He was getting buffed up healed. He would just pop his ulti, and there was even one of the fights where the Pango was roared right next to him after he got RP'd. He was like, oh, don't mind if I do. Just kills him there.
Yeah, and to me also, I think Malrine maybe doesn't get like enough praise. I think he ended the game like deathless, and in every game he has stacks. He's gonna make this early game rotation into the offlane, get the kill, help his team. So yeah, I mean, we could sing praises for all 5 players because they played absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, they really did. And to showcase that, there's one more fight from that previous game that we would like to highlight for you, because
like there's so many cool things happening. So in this team fight that we see, I want you guys to first of all, we just appreciate the spellcasting. What he will do. When you use Arena, you can't there's a pushback. He immediately arenas, not just to like help
Arena
and chilling. Like, these guys, they know the heroes truly in and out, and they're such like masters of their craft and their heroes. This is one of the big reasons why they can win with, well, most drafts where they have heroes.
And I do want to praise Skeeter for the way that he played this game. Like, he was putting himself in positions to be the hero that's getting RP'd, to be the hero that's getting skewered back. Like, he had full faith in his team, and he was always playing the outskirts of the fight too. Like, whenever he felt like he was getting low, he would drop out, wait a little bit, reset, go back in. He only died 2 times this entire series, not just that game. Only 2 deaths, and it was a full 3-game series. Like, he played really impressively today.
It is incredibly impressive, and if we even look at that draft alone, you'd think like, how did Falcons get so many of their signature heroes? They just have so many. Guys, you cannot ban against this team. This team has way too many signature heroes, so they're always going to play something that they're comfortable on, and that means that the team that they're up against, they really going to bring their A game, and Falcons brought their A game today, and that means they are guaranteed top 3. Let's see where all the pieces fall now that this day is done. Because we started today with 8 teams, but if we look at that lower bracket, we don't
also, we lost Tybound, lost Tundra, but I want to talk about Heroic instantly, right? The fact that Heroic beat Tundra, and as it progresses, I was expecting a series to be like, you know what, I'm not expecting Heroic to be able to I feel like see how BB's playing. Winning. After I see how Extreme played today, how Nigma played. I'm like, you know what? I also could see Heroic doing it. Like, coming into the lower bracket, maybe not so faithful, but here it is. I'm like, I'm becoming a believer.
It's also like lower bracket of TI, magical things can happen. SA region, yeah, I definitely got my eyes on them. Like, come on.
SA teams in the lower bracket of TI are notorious for eliminating some of the better teams.
The Wild West, and they're like, like they make use of this chaos and pressure.
You have no idea what you're in for when you go against South American teams, especially Heroic. We've seen them this tournament. They're going carry pudge. Maybe BB team won't be ready for it.
Yeah, they definitely have some chaos that they'll bring to the table in tomorrow's series. They will not be playing up first, though, because this is our schedule for
PVG
tomorrow. We are
PVG,
kicking things
yeah.
off with Extreme Gaming taking on Nigma Galaxy. Now, that is going to be an exciting one. We'll see if Extreme Gaming can recover from today or if Nigma Galaxy can continue on their momentum. We're going to have another lower bracket match with BBT versus Heroic. A spicy one, and of course, our two of our top three teams, P-Vision and Falcons, one of these two teams will be punching their ticket to the grand finals on our final Sunday. And at the very end of the day, the winners of the first two series will go up against each other to decide who will be third.
If there ever was a day for the 4 best-of-3s to all have 3 games, it probably should be tomorrow, right? When XG or Nigma has to play the first and last, will truly test their might and ability to stay awake after like 13 hours of Dota.
Yeah. Today was not as long of a day as I think a lot of people were expecting, but it was a very entertaining day regardless. Kezu, what stood out to you most from today?
Maybe XG like faltering a little bit because I thought they would do better like coming into today, and then the other thing, yeah, Heroic kind of blasting Tundra out of the tournament, like looking really good. Those would be my takeaways.
I'm just most curious about XG versus Nigma because I really don't know how it'll go. Nigma have been powering up. There's also a meme in the Chinese Dota community about Ghost, how good he is when he plays versus Western teams, and then when he plays versus Chinese teams, he's not so good. So I'm wondering if that's going to change tomorrow.
I just feel like at this TI so far, every team has their own identity. We're not in a TI where everyone's trying to copy one thing. Like you look at P-Vision, what they're playing, what BB's playing, what Heroic's playing. I feel like you could make a case for a clear concept being different in every team, and that's relatively rare at tournaments. So I think that just Dota in general and this patch is in a healthy spot that it is cool to see.
It is cool to see, and I do know that tomorrow we do not know what the day will bring, but I do know what we're going to
That's a big thing.
That was close up right there.
Oh, all right.
Guys. Tomorrow, I know one
I think I'll wipe him later.
that we've got going here in the Barclays Arena, and that is a phenomenal crowd. So I'm counting on you guys to come back here tomorrow, bright and early. At the same time. It will be 10. Almost got you missing that first half of the day there. No, 9:30. We'll be back, of course. You knew that. We all know that. And we're going to watch some incredible Dota 2 tomorrow. But that was it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we'll see you bright and early for more games of Dota 2.
Okay. အားလုံးပဲကျွန်တော်လည်းနားပါတယ်မညော။နောက်ပြန်ကြမှာတွေးကြမယ်။နောက်ပြန်ကြမှာတွေးကြမယ်အားလုံးပဲ newbie နဲ့တူလာကြည့်ကြပါဦး။ Okay. newbie ရဲ့ကျွန်တော်တလွဲတွေပြောတာနဲ့ကျွန်တော်နောက်ပြန်တွေးကြမယ်ဗျာ။ကျွန်တော်နောက်ပြန် Nigma နဲ့ extreme လေးကျွန်တော်မီးလာပါသေးပဲဆူတောင်းအောင်ကျွန်တော်မီးလေးလာပဲဆူတောင်း။မီးလေးလာပါလို့မီးလေးလာရင်အဆင်ပြေသွားကျွန်တော်ပြူအောင်ကြည့်အောင်ကျွန်တော်ပြူကကျွန်တော်ပလာတာရိုက်သလိုပဲကျွန်တော်ခိုးဘက်ကရလိုက်ဒီဘက်ရလိုက်နေသူ့မှာသူ့ပေါ်ကအားလုံးပဲ good night ပါကျွန်တော်အားလုံး good night မနေ့ကပြန်တွေ့ကြမယ်အားလုံးပဲ good night